Only now did a Biao notice the metal chest in Lin Shi's hands. It was quite large. Could he have brought all the gold for the trade at once? The absurd thought crossed his mind, but he immediately dismissed it. If he had brought all the gold for the transaction, it would weigh at least a ton. To a Biao, the Lin Shi standing before him looked refined and slender, without a single bulging muscle. He looked like a scrawny kid. How could he carry a ton of weight so easily? But to his surprise, Lin Shi really had brought all the gold. This custom-made metal chest alone weighed several hundred pounds. That chest looks heavy, sir. Let me help you with that. I don't have any special powers, just a bit of strength. A Biao spoke up, bracing himself for a rejection. Even if he didn't think Lin Shi would bring all the gold, he figured the kid would at least have a down payment. Usually, people keep such important items on them at all times. So, he was just being polite. To his surprise, Lin Shi nodded. Much appreciated. With that, he lifted the chest and handed it over. A Biao confidently reached out with both hands to support the bottom. Before letting go, Lin Shi asked, "You got it? This thing is heavy." A Biao scoffed inwardly. Who does he think he's looking down on? How heavy could it be? A Biao was a former mercenary known abroad as the Herculean Angel. He could lift a massive amount. He was confident. He nodded dismissively. "I've got a solid grip. You can let go now." Lin Shi smiled and released his hold. The moment he did, the weight surged violently, catching a Biao completely off guard. Instantly, a Biao's arms let out a sickening crack. Unable to withstand the crushing weight, he realized in a flash that there was no way he could hold this chest. The chest that seemed weightless in Lin Shi's hands was actually this heavy? A Biao lost his balance, his body pitching forward under the sheer gravity of the metal box. If it fell straight down, his feet would be crushed for sure. Even if he tried to hug it, his arms would be ruined. A normal human's arms simply couldn't support over 1,000 kilograms. Fortunately, the disaster a Biao feared didn't happen. Just as he hit peak desperation, the weight vanished. Lin Shi had snatched the chest back up. "All right then, it looks like you can't handle it. I'll just carry it myself." Watching Lin Shi effortlessly hoist the chest again, a Biao couldn't believe it was the same heavy object he had just felt. In an instant, he broke into a cold sweat. How can a person carry something that heavy like it's nothing? Is this kid even human? A Biao was speechless. Seeing Lin Shi already heading toward the VIP room, he snapped out of it and hurried to catch up. Inside the soundproof room, Xie Jinxin looked anxious. He sat with a middle-aged man whose face was etched with deep wrinkles. This man was Zhang Kuanyu, the owner of the estate up for sale. Zhang Kuanyu had some ties to Shun Fanren's Tiankai New Energy Company. He was also in the new energy sector, but most of the domestic market share had been swallowed up by Tiankai. Especially in Haisher, it was practically a monopoly. For years, Zhang Chuanyu's company had been squeezed until there was no room left to breathe. With his company on the brink of bankruptcy, Shun Fanren's sudden death caused Tiankai's stock to plummet and threw the company into chaos. It was the perfect chance to grab a piece of the market, but Zhang Kuanyu lacked the liquid capital. Lately, many new energy companies previously suppressed by Shun Fanren had jumped in to fight for the unexpected windfall. The fierce competition had reignited. Some rivals even accused Zhang Chuanyu's company of tax and financial irregularities, making it impossible for him to use the estate as collateral for a loan. So, when he heard someone wanted to buy the estate, Zhang Kuanyu rushed to find a Biao, asking him to act as a broker to close the deal. A Biao handled the external affairs, while Xie Jinxin took care of the more sensitive details. The news a Biao leaked was actually Xie Jinxin's idea. The two had agreed on a 30-70 split, profiting from both sides. Inside the room, Zhang Kuanyu impatiently tapped the table, urging Xie Jinxin. "When did you say the buyer was coming? My time is very valuable." He planned to trade for gold and then convert it to cash. "There are still 5 minutes until the appointment," Xie Jinxin reminded him. As the middleman, he didn't need to cater to the seller's ego. Suddenly, a figure appeared at the door. Both men looked over. They saw Lin Shi walk in, carrying a chest. Xie Jinxin's eyes lit up, staring intently at the chest for a few seconds. Zhang Kuanyu frowned when he saw Lin Shi. "Whose kid is this? Why did you bring a child here? Didn't we agree there would be no outsiders for today's deal?" Accustomed to barking at subordinates, he immediately put on an air of authority the moment Lin Shi appeared. Xie Jinxin stood up and said respectfully, "You've arrived. Please, have a seat. Xie Jinxin's attitude stunned Zhang Kuan-yu. He hadn't seen Xie Jinxin act this polite before. Although not as famous as Shen Fanren, Zhang Kuan-yu was still a known figure in Haishu, a man of influence in high society. He had assumed Xie Jinxin was just naturally cold to everyone. He didn't expect to be treated with indifference while Lin Shi was treated with such courtesy. Zhang Kuan-yu felt a surge of annoyance, glaring at Lin Shi. At this point, he still hadn't realized Lin Shi was the buyer. He assumed Lin Shi was likely the son of one of Xie Jinxin's superiors. As soon as Lin Shi entered the room, a Biao, who had been following behind, quickly stepped forward to pull out a chair for him. A Biao asked flatteringly, "Sir, is this spot all right?" Lin Shi nodded. He sat down, gently placing the chest on the floor. A Biao closed the door and sat next to Xie Jinxin. Xie Jinxin was slightly taken aback by a Biao's behavior. He had never seen the man act so subservient to anyone. Maybe it's because this is such a massive deal, Xie Jinxin told himself. He then spoke up. "All right, everyone is here. Let's begin the process. Mr. Zhang, could you give us a brief introduction to your villa complex?" "What? We're starting now? He's the buyer? Are you guys kidding me?" Zhang Kuan-yu was clearly unprepared. He pointed a startled finger at Lin Shi sitting across from him. Seeing him point, both Xie Jinxin and a Biao glanced at Lin Shi to gauge his reaction. Seeing that Lin Shi wasn't angry, they both breathed a sigh of relief. A Biao barked at Zhang Kuan-yu. "Put your hand down. Who do you think you're pointing at?" Zhang Chuanyu's face soured. He stood up abruptly and slammed the table. "I came here for a business deal, not to play with kids. I traveled all this way just to negotiate with a child? Is he even old enough? Are you guys messing with me?" A Biao lost his patience too, pointing right back at Zhang Chuanyu's face. "Look, do you want to do this deal or not? If not, get lost. He has the money, you have the goods." Xie Jinxin looked at a Biao in surprise. Before the meeting, he had told a Biao that he would handle the talking once everyone arrived. A Biao was just supposed to sit there and look tough, since his blunt personality wasn't suited for negotiations. He didn't expect a Biao to lose his temper over such a small thing. Xie Jinxin quickly stood up to play peacemaker, his voice remaining calm. "Mr. Zhang, you know our reputation in this circle. Without a proper introduction, you wouldn't even be on our list for a transaction. Now that everyone is here, let's just discuss this calmly. This gentleman is indeed the buyer for your villa complex." Xie Jinxin's words worked. Zhang Kuan-yu had come here specifically to close this deal. His company was desperate for cash. He had to pay a high price just to get this opportunity. If it fell through, he'd have to find another way to raise money, but time was running out. Zhang Kuan-yu knew these middlemen weren't easy to deal with. The person who introduced him to a Biao had warned him to be careful. Thinking of this, he suppressed his anger and sat back down. He looked at Lin Shi, his voice still sharp. "You want to buy my villa? Do you even have the authority to make that decision?" Lin Shi knew he'd be looked down on because of his age, which is why he'd shown a bit of his strength to a Biao earlier to keep things moving. Looking at their faces, Lin Shi said, "Just give the presentation." Zhang Kuan-yu felt uneasy, but he began describing his estate anyway. However, he cut out all the flowery language he had prepared. He only gave a brief summary of the acreage, the overall structure, and the geographical location. Deep down, Zhang Kuan-yu felt this deal wouldn't be finished in one go. He figured Lin Shi would eventually bring someone else to finalize the negotiation. Talking too much now felt like a waste of breath. Lin Shi listened casually and got the gist of it. The estate was quite large, with classic European-style architecture, though the buildings only occupied a small fraction of the total land. Even if the style wasn't exactly his taste, it met his needs. Furthermore, the location was very secluded, surrounded by mountains and rivers. There wasn't another household for over 10 kilometers. This was the part Lin Shi liked most. He asked bluntly, "Is the paperwork in order? How much are you asking?" Zhang Kuan-yu replied that the paperwork was perfect. He had owned the place for 7 or 8 years and kept it well maintained. Just the annual cost for renovations and upkeep ran into the hundreds of millions. "Young man, you see how property prices in Haishu stay sky high. Fine, I won't ask for much. 10 billion. This estate is a steal, even if the location is a bit remote." Combined with the financial struggles of previous years, Zhang Kuan-yu had considered building a luxury resort or a vacation spot there, but the permits were never approved. Much of the estate was classified as agricultural land, which could only be used for landscaping and grass, making it nearly impossible to convert into construction land. He had originally bought it for $450 million from someone else. At the time, he thought getting such a large plot in Highshire was a bargain. But after buying it, he realized managing such a massive estate was incredibly expensive. If left alone, it became overgrown with weeds, and maintaining it required a massive amount of labor and resources. More importantly, he couldn't convert it for commercial or residential use. Plus, because it was so far away, his friends often mocked him for buying a farm just to play at being a peasant. Since acquiring the estate, his company's business had only gone downhill. He had wanted to sell it for a long time. Since a property like this was one of a kind, he naturally wanted to highball the price. He intentionally jacked the price up from $6 billion to $10 billion. Xie Jinxin frowned slightly, but said nothing. He was the middleman. The price was between the buyer and the seller. It wasn't his place to interfere. While Xie Jinxin stayed silent, a Biao couldn't help himself. However, a Biao didn't say a word. He just let out a very meaningful laugh. Haha. The mocking laugh was loud and clear, making Zhang Kuan-yu so angry he nearly exploded, but he held it in. Lin Shi spoke up. 10 billion is too high. I'll give you 1,000 kilograms of gold for the estate. That's my final offer. We can finish the deal today. Take it or leave it. Even if he looked like a kid, Lin Shi wasn't naive. With that much gold on the line, he wasn't about to let himself be treated like easy prey. Before coming, he had reviewed the documents Xie Jinxin sent. He knew that despite its size, the price was hard to justify and the property was difficult to transfer for a reason. Xie Jinxin wouldn't lie to him. He had even helped Lin Shi value the estate at around 400 million. After all, with such a major client, Xie Jinxin wanted to maintain a good relationship for future contracts. If he couldn't get Zhang Chuanyu's estate, there were always others. Hearing Lin Shi's offer, Zhang Kuan-yu frowned. 1,000 kilograms of gold. At current market rates, that was over 4 billion. If he needed to sell it fast, the price might be squeezed down to 400 million. That was the figure Zhang Kuan-yu had calculated carefully. But Zhang Kuan-yu was a businessman, and a smooth talker at that. He was used to maneuvering. Seeing how young Lin Shi was, he didn't plan to settle for 400 million. He was ready to haggle. So he refused. No, that's far too low. Hearing that, Lin Shi immediately stood up, grabbed the chest, and headed for the door. He had made himself clear, take it or leave it. He wasn't going to waste time bickering with a merchant. If the guy wanted to sell, he'd reach out. If you change your mind, contact me, Lin Shi said as he left the room. Zhang Kuan-yu was fuming. He pointed at the empty chair. He's just leaving like that? He gave you his price, and you said no. Did you expect him to stay and argue with a rambling old man? A Biao sneered and followed him out. Only the furious Zhang Kuan-yu and the calm Xie Jinxin remained. Xie Jinxin stood up and said, "It's time to go, Mr. Zhang." It was a clear dismissal. Zhang Kuan-yu felt like he'd been played. He'd wasted the whole afternoon only to be treated like this. Frustrated and pale with rage, Zhang Kuan-yu stormed out. As he left the farmhouse restaurant, he saw Lin Shi, the boy from the room, talking to a Biao. Zhang Chuanyu's eyes narrowed instantly. Xie Jinxin ran into a Biao just as he was leaving. "What's with you today? What did you say to him?" A Biao smirked and handed Xie Jinxin a phone number. The big boss's number. Xie Jinxin looked at it closely. It was Lin Shi's. He already had it. Seeing Xie Jinxin's confusion, a Biao whispered, "Do you have any idea how heavy that chest he's carrying is?" "How heavy? Did you help him carry it?" "I tried. It nearly crushed me to death. I suspect he brought the entire payment in gold right there." Xie Jinxin didn't believe it. "No way. A down payment would be at least a ton of gold. You think he's a superhero?" Xie Jinxin knew some top-tier mercenaries or assassins could lift heavy weights, but even then, they couldn't walk around casually with a ton of gear. "Heh, believe what you want. I'm sticking close to this big spender." A Biao folded his arms behind his head, whistled, and headed back inside. Xie Jinxin chased after him. "Hey, where are you going? Explain yourself." Lin Shi left, and a Biao hurried to get his contact info before saying goodbye. Lin Shi quickly realized he was being followed. "Come out. Why are you following me?" Lin Shi said without turning around. The follower was Zhang Kuan-yu. Seeing he'd been spotted, Zhang didn't hide. He stepped forward and said, "Kid, Those two who introduced us. How well do you know them? Lin Shi frowned. We just met. What's your point? Realizing Lin Shi wasn't close with Xie Jinxin and a Biao, Zhang Chuanyo's smile widened. To be honest, I only want to deal with you privately. Those middlemen take too big a cut. If we deal directly, we both save a fortune. It's a win-win, right? Lin Shi gave a cold smile. 10 billion? Of course not. For a private deal, I'll give you a fair price. This isn't the place to talk. Young man, let's go somewhere else. You want to buy the villa, right? I'll take you to see it myself. We can finalize everything there. Lin Shi had already paid the finder's fee to Xie Jinxin, so a private deal wouldn't violate the spirit of their contract. However, Lin Shi didn't believe this middle-aged man was being sincere. Still, he told him to lead the way. He really liked that villa. If he could close the deal without extra fees, why not? Zhang Kuan-yu pulled up in his car and signaled for Lin Shi to get in. Before getting in, Lin Shi moved all the gold from the chest into his storage space. If he tried to get into the car with a ton of gold, he wasn't sure the vehicle would even move. The car started, and Zhang Kuan-yu began probing for information. At first, Zhang wondered what kind of kid could afford a villa. He figured he was some rich heir. But when he heard Lin Shi's father was just an electrical engineer, and he was a student who just wanted to convert some untraceable family gold into assets, Zhang Kuan-yu relaxed completely. He even sped up. While Lin Shi and Zhang Kuan-yu were heading to the villa, a group of people had already arrived. If Lin Shi saw them, he'd recognize them instantly. They were the same thugs who had harassed him at his warehouse before. Their leader was Huang Mao. Huang Mao had deep roots in Haishi's underworld. Many wealthy people looking for discreet work went to him. He hadn't finished the job for Fan Trong Min last time, but Fan's sudden death worked in his favor. He didn't get the full pay, but he got to keep the $1 million deposit. Well, 900,000. Since he'd lost 100,000 to a scammer he still hadn't found. This time, Zhang Kuan-yu had hired him for a simple intimidation job. The target was just a kid in his teens. They just had to show up at the right time, scare him, and force him to sign the contract. The fee was 100,000. Not much, but work was work. Huang Mao fanned himself with the freshly printed contract and told his men, hide near the estate. Wait for the boss. Once he's inside that fortress of a house, we move in. Got it. Yes, boss. Huang Mao and his crew slowly moved into position. Not long after, Zhang Chuanyo's car entered the estate. Seeing the signal Huang Mao left at the gate, Zhang smirked and used his remote to open the gate, leaving it open behind him. Lin Shi didn't care that the gate was left open. His spiritual sense had already detected Huang Mao and his gang hiding around the estate. Clearly, these were the people Zhang Kuan-yu had called. Last time, before the apocalypse, he had been harassed by them, but he was too busy preparing to deal with them. He didn't expect these dead men walking to deliver themselves to his doorstep. Zhang Kuan-yu thought Huang Mao would help him secure this deal, but he had no idea his actions had just sealed his own fate. Originally, he could have traded normally for Lin Shi's gold, but now, Lin Shi was going to save himself a lot of money. Just as Lin Shi thought, the location was perfect. To the east was a forest, to the north a large river, and to the west a massive field. Aside from the main buildings, the estate was mostly greenery. Zhang Kuan-yu had even planted quite a few fruit trees. Overall, the place was lush. It was full of life and, most importantly, isolated. There wasn't another soul within the range of Lin Shi's spiritual sense. To anyone else, this place might seem too lonely, even dangerous. But to Lin Shi, it was the perfect future base. He could already imagine Bao Vum running freely through the estate. So, my estate isn't bad, is it, kid? Zhang Kuan-yu bragged, seeing Lin Shi staring out the window. Lin Shi nodded in approval. It really is quite good. Zhang Kuan-yu parked, and Huang Mao signaled his men to follow them inside. They entered a temporary living room. The decor was simple, not luxurious. Anything of value had been moved out, leaving behind marks where furniture used to be. Zhang Kuan-yu sat Lin Shi down and got straight to the point. Kid, you've seen the place. Let's talk price. I already gave you my price. 1,000 kilograms of gold. Right, that was before. But I want to know, you're barely 18. Why would your family let you do a massive deal like this alone? Zhang Kuan-yu heard the car doors and footsteps of Huang Mao's crew approaching the entrance. Kid, today I'm going to teach you a lesson your family clearly skipped. Never show off your wealth, and never go home with a stranger. Understand? Huh. Zhang Chuanyo's laugh was malicious as Huang Mao and his thugs burst into the room. Lin Shi remained calm and asked, "What's going on?" Huang Mao and his men drew their weapons, standing menacingly behind Zhang Kuanyu to apply pressure. Seeing Lin Shi not reacting, as if he didn't understand the situation, the thugs sneered. Zhang Kuanyu took the sales contract Huang Mao had brought from a law office and tossed it onto the coffee table in front of Lin Shi. "Sign this, and you can leave here in one piece today." Lin Shi glanced at the contract. It was a standard property sale agreement. It stated the owner was Zhang Kuang, but the price was listed as 10 billion, payable within 1 month. This was a far cry from the 400 million Zhang Kuanyu had used to lure him here. "So, you're trying to extort me?" Lin Shi smiled thinly. "Kid, cooperate and things stay easy. Otherwise, you might not be walking out of here on your own 2 feet. The blonde thug barked a threat. Lin Shi looked at Zhang Kuanyu. "Is this your idea, Boss Zhang?" Zhang Kuanyu just chuckled. He didn't understand how Lin Shi could stay so calm, but he wasn't afraid. This was his turf, and the room was filled with his men. Whatever happened here was up to him. A teenager didn't stand a chance, even if he had wings. Zhang Kuanyu leaned back on the sofa. "Don't blame me. Blame your father for letting you handle such big business at your age. You clearly don't understand that wealth attracts wolves. I'm not a monster. Sign this today, and we'll call it a deal. Consider those billions a tuition fee for life. What do you say? If you want to be difficult, I have plenty of other ways to make you sign." Zhang Kuanyu glanced at Huang Mao. Huang Mao and 2 lackeys stepped forward. One held a dagger, the other 2 had clubs. They closed in on Lin Shi with murderous looks. "Kid, sign it if you don't want a beating. My blade doesn't have eyes, and my boys don't know their own strength." The last guy who didn't cooperate? He's 6 feet under now. Lin Shi stood up and cracked his knuckles. A moment later, the living room was a wreck, littered with bodies. Groans of agony echoed through the villa. Just as they had threatened, these men now had broken arms and legs. They certainly weren't leaving in one piece. Huang Mao received special attention. He lay unconscious on the floor, his limbs twisted at impossible angles. He was so mangled his own mother wouldn't recognize him. Only Zhang Kuanyu was relatively spared, though he was currently pinned under Lin Shi's boot. A bloody dagger was planted in the floor just an inch from his eye. If Zhang Kuanyu moved even a fraction of an inch, he'd lose that eye. Lin Shi's voice was as calm as it had been at the start. He wasn't even out of breath. But to Zhang Kuanyu, it sounded like the whisper of a demon. "Today, I'm the one teaching you a lesson. Don't bring strangers home, especially the kind of stranger who looks harmless and flaunts his wealth just to bait you. Got it?" Zhang Kuanyu had intended to give Lin Shi a lesson, but the tables had turned in minutes. Now, Zhang Kuanyu was in tears, all his wealthy arrogance gone. He could only beg for mercy. I understand. I'm sorry. I was wrong, young brother. Please, have mercy. That contract from before, it's gone. It's nothing. Let's redo the deal. This time, I'll give you a price you'll love." Zhang Kuanyu had lived a sheltered life. He'd never seen anyone this terrifying. A dozen thugs with some combat experience had been wiped out in the blink of an eye. Huang Mao had even pulled out a gun, yet now he lay there, half dead. That gun had been crushed like scrap metal in Lin Shi's bare hands. The scene had played out right before his eyes. If he hadn't seen it himself, he would have thought it was a fairy tale. Lin Shi's cold voice drifted down from above. "Boss Zhang, do you want to taste some more discipline?" "No. No need. I've learned my lesson." He looked at the thugs scattered across the floor, their limbs mangled, some passed out from the pain. Zhang Kuanyu finally understood what true pain felt like. He thought he'd snared a fat sheep, but he'd invited a predator into his home instead. 400 million. Fine, 400 million. No, 300 million. I'll take 300 million as an apology. I'll sell you the estate for 300 million. What do you think? Zhang Chuanyo's heart was bleeding. Lin Shi pressed down harder with his foot. 10 billion, was it? Now you're only asking for 1 billion? Are you looking down on me? Zhang Chuanyo's face turned beet red, feeling like his head was about to be crushed. He stammered, You say it. You say it. Whatever you want. Just give me this estate. And we'll call it even for today." Zhang Kuanyu was stunned. He'd tried to scam the kid, and now he was being extorted? But he didn't dare gamble on whether Lin Shi would actually kill him. He reluctantly agreed. I agree." Lin Shi went up to the office and stamped the transfer papers. Zhang Kuan-yu had hoped to stall by pretending to draft the contract, looking for a chance to escape, but Lin Shi knew how to draft a contract himself. Looking at the gift deed in front of him, Zhang Xuanyou's hand trembled as he held the pen. For 100 million, that was 400 million. He had planned to use that money to save his company. As if reading his mind, Lin Shi opened the chest he'd brought. It was packed with pure gold, over a ton of it. Even Xie Jinxin, who prided himself on his composure, had been stunned by 100 kilos. Zhang Kuan-yu was seeing 10 times that. A full ton. He gasped, his eyes bulging. The thugs who hadn't passed out yet stared in shock. What is that? Gold. Real gold? Who carries that much gold around? If they'd known he had this much, they would have treated him like a god. Lin Shi picked up a gold bar. I intended to do business fairly with you, but you chose to target me. Zhang Kuan-yu was filled with a regret so deep it bordered on madness. But to save his life, he obediently signed and sealed the contract. He looked at Lin Shi cautiously. The contract is signed. Now, let's finalize the title transfer. Lin Shi was determined to secure this estate. He took Zhang Kuan-yu directly to finish the paperwork. Zhang had thought about making things difficult at the office or signaling for help, but Lin Shi seemed to anticipate his every move. Under the threat of death, the transfer went through without a hitch. Once everything was settled, Lin Shi had Zhang Kuan-yu drive him back to the estate. By then, the blonde thug and his crew had already limped away. Lin Shi didn't kill them. Killing 1 or 2 was one thing, but a dozen would be a hassle. After all, the apocalypse hadn't started yet, and laws still applied. Only Huang Mao was truly ruined. He'd likely spend the rest of his life in a wheelchair. Back at the estate, Lin Shi told Zhang Kuan-yu, "Get all your stuff out of here today. If you leave anything behind, don't expect any mercy." Zhang Kuan-yu was bitter, but he called his people to move the furniture and appliances. It was a frantic, rushed process. He didn't dare show his anger in front of Lin Shi, but he was seething inside. The mansion was emptied overnight. Some items were too large to move, so Zhang had to leave them. The next day, when Lin Shi arrived, he found the place rigged with cameras and recording devices that hadn't been there before. Using his telekinesis, he ripped them all out in seconds. He stored the remaining furniture and new supplies, appliances, daily necessities, into his space. Then, he sent the location to Lin Rongshuan and the others. Seeing the massive mansion, Lin Ziyuan was the most excited. Lin Min and Lin Rongshuan were also very pleased. Everyone was thrilled that Lin Shi had secured such a grand estate so quickly. Everyone happily cleaned up and picked their favorite rooms. Lin Shi hired a crew to build high walls around the perimeter. The day the walls were finished, the creatures he'd kept in his space were finally released, including the leopard, the gibbon, and the tyrant. They finally had room to play. Lin Shi could finally focus on his cultivation in peace. Master, the young master is back. Inside the Qi family estate, Qi Chiyue looked up from his computer upon hearing the report. His handsome, commanding face was revealed. He was over 40, but he looked like a man in his early 20s. His features were sharp and defined, bearing a striking resemblance to Lin Shi. A nephew truly does take after his uncle. Lin Shi looked a lot like Qi Yan, and since Qi Yan and Qi Chiyue were siblings, the resemblance was natural. Qi Chiyue frowned. Why is he back so suddenly? I thought he was studying hard over there. A subordinate bowed and reported, Master, word is the young master got into a fight with the little prince of Country Y's royal family. He apparently broke the prince's arm. The school sent him home to cool off for a while to avoid further conflict. The little prince of Country Y, the queen's pampered darling, had his arm broken by Qi Yun just days after starting school. If Qi Yun weren't a member of the Qi family, this wouldn't be settled so easily. Qi Chiyue slammed the table and stood up. That boy is getting more arrogant by the day. I sent him there to learn discipline, not to run wild. Where is he? He's on his way, sir. When he arrives, send him straight to my study. I want to hear his excuse this time. Master, please stay calm. The young master is still young. Hearing that only made Qi Chiyue angrier. In a family like theirs, 14 is considered an adult. Thinking about how a spoiled child is a ruined child, Qi Chiyue told his subordinate, go get the family cane. If he doesn't have a damn good explanation, I'm going to teach him a lesson myself. Yes, master. The subordinate left the study, a flash of malice in his eyes. He was Qi Chiyue's trusted aide, usually handling personal matters. Because he was discreet and rarely suspected, he had been bribed by Chi Chiohung to spy on Chi Chiyue. Every day, he subtly sowed discord between Chi Chiyue and Chi Yun, careful not to overstep. He didn't dare do more for fear of being caught. Chi Chiohung was meticulous. Everyone he bribed was someone who wouldn't easily blow their cover. Chi Yun arrived at the villa with Chi Yi and Chi Wu and went to his room. When his father's aide told him to go to the study, he sighed and went. In reality, Chi Yun's troublemaker persona was just an act. Since Lin Shi's warning, Chi Yun had Chi Yi use the most brutal interrogation methods on Du Luz. Having died once already, Du Luz thought he could handle it. But he didn't realize that in his past life, he was just Chi Yun's toy. The methods Chi Yun used then weren't even a tenth of what he was facing now. Through Du Luz's confession, Chi Yun finally learned the truth. His uncle, Chi Chiohung, had been faking his lack of interest in family affairs for years. In reality, he was secretly buying loyalty within the Chi family, waiting for the perfect moment to seize the leadership. Du Luz didn't know how many people had been turned. So, Chi Yun sent Chi San to secretly investigate while he returned to discuss a plan with his father. To avoid suspicion, and to keep Chi Chiohung off his guard, he had staged the fight with the prince. The moment he entered the study and closed the door, Chi Yun dropped his reckless act. He looked seriously at his father. Chi Chiyue was still looking down at his work. Hearing his son's familiar footsteps, he didn't look up, but spoke with suppressed anger. "Why are you fighting at school again?" Although Chi Chiyue's voice was calm, Chi Yun saw the family cane on the desk, a rattan whip said to be made from a mutated plant found by their ancestors. Chi Yun frowned. He hated that cane to his core, and it showed on his face. Chi Yun hurried to explain. "Father, I came back on purpose." He then told Chi Chiyue everything that had happened in Country Y, from the assassination attempt by Du Luz to meeting Lin Shi, the boy claiming to be the son of Chi Yin and Lin Rongshuan. He shared Lin Shi's warning and the details of Chi Chiohung's plot. Chi Chiyue's expression shifted from grim to a level of excitement Chi Yun had never seen. He rushed over to his son to confirm. "Is this true? My sister, her child is still alive?" Chi Yun didn't expect this to be his father's main concern. He nodded. "Yes, I met him. He's about my age, but his martial arts are unfathomable." Lin Rong. Seeing his father frown, Chi Yun corrected himself. "My aunt is with him too. We never heard from them because she entrusted him to an old subordinate. That man was an expert at staying hidden. Plus, we all assumed they were dead, so we never looked in that direction." "Good. Very good," Chi Chiyue interrupted. For years, Chi Yan's death had been a hole in his heart. He grabbed Chi Yun's shoulders. "Where's the boy now? What's his name?" "His name is Lin Shi. He recognized me instantly, even though Aunt didn't at first. I've had him investigated. He's in Haishur and has lived there for a long time." His foster father was Aunt's old subordinate. With a name, a face, and an age, finding someone isn't hard. Lin Shi's life seemed like that of an ordinary kid. Chi Yun couldn't understand how he became so powerful. He was far beyond anyone else in those circumstances. He had also looked into Lin Shi's foster mother. That whole situation, it's complicated. Chi Yun recalled the info from Chi San and told his father. He didn't leave out a single detail. He mentioned that Lin Shi was the one who killed Chi Jia and the others in Country Y. Chi Chiyue's eyes flashed as he quickly pieced it together. So Chi Chiohung even managed to buy off old Jia. Earlier, Chi Chiyue had received news of the deaths of Chi Bing and Chi Jia. Specifically regarding Chi Jia, since he was working for Chi Chiohung, Chiohung had to fabricate a reason for his death. The report Chi Chiyue received claimed Lin Rongshuan had killed Chi Jia in Country Y. As for Chi Bing and the others, he hadn't even received a report yet. If he had known so many key subordinates were dead, he would have investigated thoroughly. "I can't believe that as the head of the Chi family, I've been this isolated from information. I wasn't even told when our own people died." Despite being father and son, Chi Yun and Chi Chiyue were opposites. Chi Yun couldn't stay still, while Chi Chiyue was a total homebody. Since taking over the family, Chi Chiyue had rarely left the estate. He spent his time at headquarters handling business and internal affairs. All these years, I let him hold power out of brotherly love. I knew he was unhappy when father gave me the leadership, but I never thought my leniency would fuel such ambition. Since he wants to play this game, I won't protect him anymore. This time, no one is going to hurt my family. Chi Chiyue muttered to himself, speaking to Chi Yun as much as to himself. Seeing the unprecedented sharpness in his father's eyes, Chi Yun felt a weight lift from his chest. Ever since he learned of Chi Chiohung's betrayal, he'd been plagued by nightmares of his father's brutal death. Xiao Yun, if you don't want to go back to country Y, then go to Haishur. Hearing he could go to Haishur instead of school, Chi Yun's eyes lit up, but then he grew worried. Father, if I leave, can you handle this alone? Chi Chiohung isn't. After all, grandfather has always favored him. Grandfather, the former head, Chi Wanshan. Likely Li Hung. Chi Wanshan was a man with one foot in the grave. He had ruled the Chi family for over 200 years. He was slightly older than Li Liheng and was now like a flickering candle in the wind. There was only a 2-year age gap between them. In the previous life, Chi Wanshan had passed away when the apocalypse hit. In this life, Lin Shi didn't expect the Chi family to still have such a figure. Don't worry about your grandfather. Go. I'm going to see him now. Chi Chiyue waved him off and headed toward the back of the Chi mountain. There was a small courtyard there, the current residence of the old master, Chi Wanshan. Since Chi Chiyue became the head, Chi Wanshan had retired to the background to enjoy his final years. Lately, Chi Chiohung visited this courtyard often. Chi Chiyue, however, hadn't bothered to see the stubborn old man since Chi Yan's death. Chi Wanshan had suffered reproductive damage in his youth. Chi Chiyue and Chi Yin were his children from much later in life. They were fraternal twins, born to the same mother. Their mother died when Chi Chiyue was young, and in Chi Wanshan's eyes, Chi Chiyue was merely a tool to continue the lineage. The stubborn old man had never been much of a father and never encouraged a bond between the siblings. Thus, Chi Chiyue only ever felt the warmth of family from his sister, Chi Yin. Their bond was deep. After her death, Chi Chiyue resented Lin Rongshuan. He resented Chi Chiohung for the accident, and most of all, he resented the man behind the scenes who let his daughter die, Chi Wanshan. What hurt Chi Chiyue most was the reaction to Chi Yan's death. Chi Chiohung had simply said it was a rainy day and she'd slipped off a cliff. And Chi Wanshan, her own father, didn't even look for her body. He just called her unfilial and said if she was dead, she was dead. He even told Chi Chiyue that as the future head, acting on emotion over a rebellious woman was pathetic. It was ridiculous and bitter. What were he and Chi Yin to their father, anyway? A flash of sorrow and hatred crossed Chi Chiyue's eyes. He had lived at headquarters all these years, but giving power to Chi Chiohung was his way of silently rebelling against Chi Wanshan. Hearing about the coup, Chi Chiyue even thought that if he let Chiohung kill him, maybe Chi Wanshan would finally feel a shred of regret. He took a deep breath and entered the courtyard. The moment he stepped inside, Chi Wanshan noticed. Sunbathing in a rocking chair, the old man didn't open his eyes. He judged the footsteps, steady, restrained, yet deep. Is that you, Yue? Chi Chiyue stood before him, his expression complex. After all these years, Chi Wanshan still remembered his footsteps. Chi Chiyue didn't think it was out of love. Men of their level simply had perfect recall for sights and sounds. Chi Chiyue called out coldly, "Father." Chi Wanshan opened his eyes. Despite his age, they weren't the kind eyes of an old man, but sharp and piercing. You haven't visited in years. Did you come to see if I'm dead yet? You're joking, father. I'm just here to tell you something. Chi Chiyue's voice was just as cold, like a subordinate giving a report. Chi Wanshan waved his hand, and the attendants immediately withdrew. Soon, only the two of them remained in the courtyard. What is it? Speak. Chi Wanshan slowly closed his eyes again, acting unbothered. I found Chi Yan's son. Your grandson. Chi Wanshan's eyes snapped open, a sharp light flashing within them. What did you say? I found Chi Yan's son. Your grandson. Chi Chiyue repeated himself. Impossible. Whoever you found is a fake. I have no grandson. Chi Wanshan went silent for a moment before saying slowly, the Chi family does not accept tainted blood, nor do we harbor failures. Chi Chiyue's gaze turned icy. He knew his father would deny Lin Shi's existence, but seeing that cold, ruthless face again after 18 years still made his heart ache. You won't even give him a chance to prove himself before calling him a disgrace. He's not what you think. Chi Chuyue's cold face suddenly broke into a smile. What's that supposed to mean? I mean, that boy might not be the failure you imagine. Chi Chuyue spoke slowly and seriously. His presence and his gene unlock level are no weaker than mine. He's only 15, yet he has that kind of power. He's a genius. The kind of genius our pure lineage hasn't produced in thousands of years. Chi Yun had described Lin Shi's strength in great detail. At first, Chi Yun guessed Lin Shi was as strong as Chi Chuyue. But after hearing the full story, Chi Chuyue concluded that the grandson he'd never met might actually be stronger than him. If that age and that power don't define a genius, then nothing does. Chi Chuyue had been the family's golden boy for centuries, with every resource poured into him by Chi Wanshan since birth. Before the age of 50, he had become the youngest patriarch among the 4 great hidden families. And raising an heir like Chi Xiaoya had always been his greatest pride. The one thing Chi Wanshan believed, he did absolutely right. But Chi Xiaoya achieving this status was the result of generations of the Chi family's hard work. It wasn't just his own merit, nor was it solely thanks to Chi Wanshan. Chi Wanshan had always stubbornly maintained the family's pure bloodline. Therefore, the child of Lin Rongshuan and Qi Yan, the baby whose life or death Chi Wanshan had never cared about from the very beginning, who was deemed a half-breed and abandoned. How could he possibly accept this? You're lying. That's impossible. Chi Wanshan jumped up from his rocking chair in agitation, his steps slightly unsteady. If Chi Xiaoya's words were true, wouldn't that prove that his years of persistence were all a mistake? That his treatment of Qi Yan back then was also a mistake? Chi Xiaoya had no intention of helping him up. Chi Xiaoya trusted his son, but Chi Wanshan obviously didn't trust his. Whether I'm lying or not, you'll know once you meet that child. Chi Xiaoya replied. Chi Wanshan steadied himself, his gaze sharp. You want to bring that half-breed back? Chi Xiaoya calmly emphasized. He is the only bloodline my sister left in this world. He is also the bloodline of the Qi family. Chi Wanshan agitatedly pointed at Chi Xiaoya. If you bring him back, it'll be over my dead body. I am currently the patriarch of the Qi family. Everything in the Qi family is decided by me. Father, I'm just informing you. I still have matters to handle, so I won't stay for dinner. I'll be taking my leave. With that, Chi Xiaoya didn't give Chi Wanshan a chance to curse at him, simply turning around and leaving. Even from a distance, he could still hear Chi Wanshan's muffled curses from behind. After this trip to the old estate, Chi Xiaoya felt much more relaxed. How could a few nonsensical curses bother him? Right now, he just wanted to leave the Qi family headquarters and head to High City to visit his nephew. Meanwhile, at the manor in High City, Lin Shi felt his ears itching, as if someone was whispering about him. He rubbed his ears and said to Lin Rongshuan, Lin Mingjin, and Qin Shuang, here's the deal. I'm going into secluded cultivation for a while. I don't know how long it'll take. During this time, Demon King will be in charge of my safety. Second uncle, please take care of Demon King's meals. Leave this little matter to me, Lin Mingjin replied. He already had experience with this. Lin Shi then turned to Lin Rongshuan. Dad, just get some good rest at the manor. You can hire a private tutor to teach Siyuan at home. He doesn't need to go to school. During this time, if anyone from the Qi family comes looking for trouble, just let Xiaobai handle it. Xiaobai is Demon King's assistant, a tier 6 in strength. Even if Qi Xiaohan comes in person, Xiaobai can bite his head off. Demon King will handle the inside and guard me, while Xiaobai will handle the outside and guard the manor. The other origin beasts were naturally stored in his spatial dimension to avoid causing trouble during his seclusion. Lin Rongshuan also agreed. Also, add a little bit of origin beast meat to Siyuan's food every day. I've left the meat in the cold storage. Use it according to the labels I marked. Feed Siyuan the low-tier origin beast meat, and you guys can eat the tier 4 meat. As for Lao He, just let him roam free for a while. Once everything was settled, Lin Shi began his secluded cultivation. Of course, this wasn't a traditional secluded cultivation. Setting Xiao Tung aside, Lin Shi prepared to first eat the 2 tier 8 origin beasts he had brought back from the apocalypse last time. Those 2 origin beasts were a tier 8 Titan Python and a tier 8 Gerfalcon. Lin Shi planned to digest these 2 origin beasts and then absorb Xiao Ting's energy. Who knows, he might be able to break through to tier 9. After giving his instructions, Lin Shi began eating nonstop. The energy within a Tier 8 origin beast was incredibly potent. Fortunately, Lin Shi had a huge appetite and now possessed a complete and rapid advancement method. Before he even finished eating one Tier 8 origin beast, Lin Shi began to advance. About half a month later, Lin Shi woke up from his advancement and continued eating. During this time, Qi Yun arrived in High City. He sought out the villa where Lin Shi and the others were staying. Lin Mingjin, Lin Rongshuan, and Qin Shuang discussed it among themselves. Seeing that Lin Shi was in seclusion and the situation was critical, it was best not to let Qi Yun in. Lin Shi could safely leave Lao He in the villa because Lao He was alone, weak, and posed no threat to them. As for Qin Shuang, she was alone, had recovered her past life's memories, and was completely devoted to Lin Shi. But Qi Yun hadn't recovered his memories, and he had the entire Qi family backing him. There were too many unstable factors. For safety reasons, they turned Qi Yun away at the door. Qi Yun didn't complain. With plenty of free time and nothing to do in High City, Qi Yun used the excuse of managing family businesses to take over several companies related to the Qi family. Along with other companies, he shut down the Tianqi New Energy Company previously managed by Shun Jinbin. After that, he took in Shun Jinbin, the desperate son of Shun Fanren, under his wing. Spending his days having fun, Lin Shi was completely unaware of these events. Lin Rongshuan and the others didn't disturb Lin Shi, letting him focus entirely on his advancement, even using the small kitchen in the city. This time, Lin Shi ate for nearly a month, devouring both origin beasts completely, yet he still hadn't unlocked his Tier 8 genetic lock. At this point, the origin power and spiritual energy in Lin Shi's body were still not enough to unlock the Tier 8 genetic lock. Lin Shi had also guessed this. Initially, he thought he could break through to Tier 8 after absorbing Xiao Ting's energy. Perhaps because Xiao Tong was approaching Tier 9 at the time, he had to absorb almost all of Xiao Ting's energy just to break through to Tier 8. It seemed that unlocking the Tier 9 genetic lock wouldn't be that easy. Lin Shi felt a bit disappointed. Xiao Tong, I need to borrow your energy. Lin Shi stroked Xiao Tong beside him. Xiao Tong happily wriggled its vines, connecting with Lin Shi without any hesitation. The advancement to Tier 8 begins. The top floor of the tallest building in High City. This building was located in the center of High City and was also the tallest building in the city. Rumor had it that after its completion, the top floor remained vacant. But now it was occupied. Naturally, it was Qi Yun and his men. At this moment, Qi Yun was sitting on the sofa with a satisfied expression. In his hand was a glass of imported fruit juice. He was enjoying the performance in front of him. The performer was Shun Jinbin. Right now, Shun Jinbin was wearing only a pair of shorts, his hands tied and hoisted up. Qi Wu, with a cold expression, held a leather whip and lashed it forcefully at Shun Jinbin. The whip cracked through the air. It seemed to have thorns on it, leaving a deep, bloody gash with every strike. Shun Jinbin's mouth was gagged, unable to speak, only letting out muffled groans of pain. Qi San, standing nearby, opportunely grabbed a spray bottle of salt water and sprayed it onto Shun Jinbin's wounds. The pain was so excruciating that Shun Jinbin's eyes rolled back and his mouth gaped open, his eyeballs nearly popping out of their sockets. He looked toward Qi Yun, constantly begging for mercy. Qi Wu lashed down with another whip. How is it? Feels good, right? I heard you used to love bringing girls back to your villa to play like this. Doesn't it feel even better on your own body? Qi Yun had investigated the files and conveniently looked into the people around them as well. Lin Mingjin and Lin Shi lived very simple lives, probably to hide their identities. They hardly met with anyone special. The only special person they interacted with was Shun Fanren. The fact that Shun Fanren intended to make a move against Lin Shi's adoptive father naturally couldn't escape Qi Yun's eyes. But Shun Fanren was already dead. After investigating, Qi Yun discovered that the car accident was likely caused by Lin Shi. But killing the father and sparing the son didn't make sense. So, Qi Yun investigated the son Shun Fanren left behind. Shun Fanren had quite a few illegitimate children outside. After his death, these illegitimate children immediately came to fight over the Shun group's interests with Shun Jinbin. But Shun Jinbin had bodyguards arranged by his father beforehand and knew about some of the family's assets, so he found a way to kill off those half-siblings. As for Lu Siyue, rumor had it that on the day Shin Fanren got into the car accident, he was on his way to meet her. Shin Jinbin was so furious that he tortured her to death in a villa under Wang Ji's name. Therefore, Qi Yun ultimately only found Shin Jinbin, a plaything. Qi Sin had excellent intelligence-gathering skills. Besides all the documents related to Lin Shi, he even dug up the dirty laundry of everyone involved. This included information about how Shin Jinbin had relied on his father's status and social standing over the years to humiliate and murder quite a few people. Even Shi Wu, who was normally quite mild-mannered, cursed him as a piece of trash upon seeing Shin Jinbin's file. So, after Qi Yun captured Shin Jinbin, Shi Wu volunteered to handle him personally, wanting to teach this scumbag a lesson. Qi Yun enjoyed Shin Jinbin's begging and agony for a while, then frowned slightly. "All right, stop hitting him. You're dirtying my place." Shin Jinbin felt a wave of relief, thinking he had finally escaped hell. Unexpectedly, Qi Yun continued. "Based on the methods he used on those other girls, pick one to send him off." Shin Jinbin's eyes widened in sheer terror. Shi Wu lashed him with another whip, still not having vented all his anger, and volunteered. "Young master, just leave this dirty work to me and Chi-san. I want to castrate him first, then find a few burly men." Chi Wu. Before Chi Wu could finish, Chi Yi cut him off. "Apologies, young master. I forgot you're still underage." Chi Wu stuck out his tongue, told Chi-san to release the man, and dragged Shin Jinbin away. The room fell silent again. "Do as you please. Take charge of cleaning up the blood. Don't bother wiping it. Just call someone to replace the carpet. Replace anything that got blood on it, too." Qi Yun's room was fully carpeted, which was incredibly expensive. Just replacing one carpet was enough to buy an apartment in a small city. High city is so boring. Qi Yun finished his juice, stretched, and said, "Qi Yi, come with me. Let's go visit my cousin's place. If my cousin isn't home, we can just stroll around his manor." "Young master, your aunt told you not to go there. She said there are ferocious beasts kept in the manor, and I heard they can hurt people." Qi Yun looked a bit tired, then smiled disdainfully. "Just because she told me not to go means I won't. What kind of beast could possibly hurt me? This time, we're climbing the wall." Qi Yun and Qi Yi approached Lin Shi's manor. Lin Shi's manor was massive. After acquiring it, he had a wall nearly 5 meters high built around it, complete with an electrified grid. There were only 2 main gates, front and back. The scale was no different from a prison. This time, since they were climbing the wall, they didn't go to the main gate but got out of the car nearby and approached a section of the wall. "Young master, are we really going to climb the wall? There's an electric grid up there. Like an electric grid can stop me. Didn't you bring the gear? Insulated gloves, leg guards, bring them out. But this is your aunt's house after all. Isn't it a bit impolite for us to enter like this?" "Qi Yi, why are you nagging so much? It's my aunt's house anyway. If we're climbing the wall, we climb. I just feel it's a bit dangerous. It's just an ordinary manor. Even if there are traps, they can't do anything to us. Just be a little careful. As for ferocious beasts, it's probably just tigers or lions at most. I could take on 5 of them by myself." However, Qi Yi inexplicably felt that it was very dangerous inside the wall. It was the intuition of an assassin. Being an assassin, Qi Yi was highly sensitive to danger, far surpassing ordinary evolvers, even though he was currently only at Tier 2. Qi Yun didn't know that Xiao Bai, who was wandering around the manor, had already caught their scent and arrived at the base of the wall. Xiao Bai understood human speech and clearly heard the conversation between Qi Yun and Qi Yi. "Stop talking nonsense. If you're not going up, I'll go first." Qi Yun was already fully equipped and was losing his patience at this point. Left with no choice, Qi Yi had to go first. Using the tools, Qi Yi skillfully scaled the wall, avoided the electric grid, leaped over, and landed easily. Seeing that Qi Yi had made it inside, Qi Yun called out from the outside, "How is it?" Qi Yi didn't answer. Qi Yun called out 2 more times, but still received no response. Qi Yun immediately felt a surge of fear. Could there really be some dangerous trap? Even Qi Yi fell for it. But Qi Yi was already inside. He couldn't just abandon him and run away, right? As for going to the main gate to find Lin Rongshuan, Qi Yun absolutely couldn't bring himself to do that. After thinking for a moment, Qi Yun decided to go in anyway. He just switched to a different section of the wall. The spot where Qi landed had a trap, but the manor was so huge, it was impossible for every single section of the wall to be rigged. So, Qi Yun took a deep breath and decisively climbed the wall. When crossing the electric grid, Qi Yun was very careful. He didn't climb directly over like Qi Yi, risking a high-voltage shock, but crouched down to observe below. It was empty below. The grass was intact, surrounded by trees, with no signs of any traps. Qi Yun breathed a sigh of relief and lightly jumped down. As his feet touched the ground, Qi Yun sighed. Thank goodness. I wonder what kind of trap Qi stepped into. Let's go take a look. Qi Yun stood up and walked toward where Qi Yi had climbed over. Suddenly, he felt movement behind him. Before he could even turn his head, he was struck hard on the back of the neck. A dull thud rang out, and Qi Yun collapsed to the ground. Xiaobai had taken Qi Yun down in one swift move, knocking him out cold. Then, it tossed Qi Yi, who was dangling from its mouth, onto its back, picked up Qi Yun, and dashed toward the castle. Before long, Qin Shuang, who was admiring flowers and catching butterflies in the garden with Lin Siyuan, spotted Xiaobai first. She saw Xiaobai carrying Qi Yi in its mouth and Qi Yun on its back. Siyuan, I have something to do. Go back and read your books first, okay? Lin Siyuan nodded obediently and ran back to the castle. Immediately, Xiaobai dropped Qi Yun and Qi Yi in front of Qin Shuang. Qin Shuang was a bit surprised to see Qi Yun. These two, did they climb the wall? Qin Shuang instantly guessed why the two of them were knocked out cold. Xiaobai nodded. Qin Shuang found it both amusing and pitiful. Thanks, Xiaobai. Good job. You can go now. I'll take care of these two. Xiaobai nodded again and headed back into the woods. Qin Shuang moved Qi Yun and Qi Yi into the living room, then called Lin Rongshuan, who was playing chess with Lin Mingzhen, to come down immediately. Lin Rongshuan promptly called Lin Mingzhen to come down with him. Seeing Qi Yun and Qi Yi lying unconscious in the living room, each with a large lump on their forehead, Lin Rongshuan asked in surprise, "Why are my two nephews lying here unconscious like this?" Qin Shuang chuckled softly. They climbed the wall and got knocked out by Xiaobai. These two brats. Lin Rongshuan was both annoyed and amused. Living with Lin Shi recently, and often hearing Lin Shi and Qin Shuang talk about things that would happen in the future, Lin Rongshuan occasionally recalled a few fragments of memories from the future. This feeling was truly bizarre. Lin Shi guessed that perhaps because he himself was an anomaly and a variable in this timeline, the people around him were gradually regaining their memories of the future. Lin Rongshuan's memories of Qi Yun were also a bit different. He only remembered that this kid was somewhat in need of a good beating. "Xiao Shuang, get me 2 glasses of ice water." "Yes, uncle." Qin Shuang knew what Lin Rongshuan was planning to do, so she smiled and went to get them. Before long, she brought over 2 glasses of ice water with extra ice cubes. Lin Rongshuan directly splashed a glass each onto Qi Yun and Qi Yi. Qi Yi and Qi Yun instantly jolted up from the sofa. Qi Yi was even about to attack, but upon seeing Lin Rongshuan and the others, his face flushed red, and he lowered his hands. Getting caught red-handed climbing someone's wall and then getting knocked out cold was a first for Qi Yi. He was red in the face. Qi Yun, though younger, was much more thick-skinned than Qi Yi. Seeing Lin Rongshuan, he blinked and tactfully asked, "Aunt, Uncle, why are we here?" Lin Rongshuan laughed heartily. "You still have the nerve to ask? I told you not to come in, yet you brats still dared to climb the wall. It's a good thing it was you. If it were anyone else, not even their bones would be left. Are there really ferocious beasts in the villa?" Qi Yun asked in astonishment. When he was knocked out, he felt like he was struck hard by something both soft and hard, unlike being hit by a wooden club or a fist. But whose ferocious beast could knock out 2 Tier 2 evolvers? More importantly, a beast should bite, right? How could it hit people? "Uncle, what exactly is in the manor? If you won't tell me, I'll go see for myself." For 2 Tier 2 evolvers to be knocked out before they could even react, this kind of situation absolutely couldn't be the work of a wild beast. It had to be some powerful bodyguards. At this moment, Qi Yun noticed a hole bitten into his shirt. He lifted it to examine it. It felt like it had been torn by something. Sniffing it, there was also an indescribable smell. Lin Rongshuan knew he had already guessed a part of it, so there was no need to beat around the bush. It really is a ferocious beast. Next time, remember to use the main gate. Don't climb the wall, or else I'll let Xiao Bai bury you alive. Recently, quite a few people have sneaked into the manor, including assassins sent by Zhang Kuanyu, the former owner of the manor, and scouts sent by Qi Xiaoying. In the end, they all became fertilizer for the manor. Xiao Bai. What kind of ferocious beast is Xiao Bai? Qi Yin was full of doubts. Was it really a ferocious beast? But was there any beast in this world so terrifying that they had never even heard of it? He's still young, stop scaring him. Just as Lin Rongshuan was about to bicker with Qi Yun, a powerful fluctuation of origin power surged from upstairs, flashing briefly before disappearing. But even though the origin power fluctuation had vanished, anyone who sensed that aura still felt a chill from the bottom of their hearts. That fluctuation indicated that Lin Shi had broken through again. Everyone reacted differently. Qin Shuang's eyes lit up with joy. Lin Rongshuan laughed heartily, his face full of pride. Lin Mingjin immediately ran upstairs. Only Qi Yun and Qi Yi were still terrified, standing there frozen. Qi Yun looked at Lin Rongshuan in shock and asked, "What's up there?" Qi Yi's expression was extremely grave, his eyes revealing an unconcealable fear. Such a terrifying aura. "It's your cousin. He's broken through." Lin Rongshuan looked smug, as if the words "my son is super awesome" were written all over his face. "Cousin?" Qi Yun's eyes widened, his jaw dropping. Lin Shi was already incredibly strong before. His strength was at least on par with his father's. "I heard that no one in the hidden families has broken through to the 6th tier in a long time. Now that cousin has broken through, could his strength have reached the 6th tier? Qi Yun had completely forgotten about the fierce beast knocking out the two people in the manor. Only one thought echoed in his mind. The world's first 6th tier powerhouse had appeared. This would definitely change the landscape of the hidden families and shatter the current balance. Lin Shi clenched his fists, feeling the familiar strength and origin energy coursing through his body, his heart filled with joy. He was back at the 8th tier. After absorbing 2 8th tier origin beasts and taking in Little Vine's energy, the origin energy and spiritual power in his body were even higher than before the apocalypse reversed heaven and earth. Although he hadn't reached the threshold of the 9th tier yet, Lin Shi felt it wasn't far off. Beside him, Little Vine looked sluggish, its vines drooping, looking completely exhausted. Lin Shi didn't know whether to laugh or cry as he rubbed Little Vine's head. "I told you to save some for yourself. Why did you give it all to me?" A thought transmitted from Little Vine. "I want Master to get stronger." Touched, Lin Shi immediately fed Little Vine 10 growth-promoting plants, which finally helped it recover. "Just wait outside. You don't need to pace around. Even though there's nothing out there right now, getting some sun is good." Lin Shi picked Little Vine up and placed it on his shoulder. Little Vine immediately clung to him. Demon King, who had been sitting silently in the room, stood up and walked over to Lin Shi. The rooms in the castle were very spacious, but the doors were a bit small. Demon King had been guarding Lin Shi here for over a month. After such a long time without moving, its bones were a bit stiff, popping and cracking as it stood up. "You've worked hard in the rain, Demon King." Lin Shi stored Demon King into his spatial dimension and went downstairs, running into Lin Mingjin coming up. He looked Lin Shi up and down. "It's about time. Are you done with your secluded cultivation?" Lin Shi nodded slightly and smiled. "Yeah, I've recovered to the 8th tier. Thanks for taking care of Demon King lately." Lin Mingjin's eyes widened, staring at Lin Shi like he was looking at a rare treasure. 8th tier. In this world, unlocking the 3rd tier of the gene lock already made someone an absolute top-tier expert. The 4th and 5th tiers only existed in legends. Unless you were the head of a hidden family, it was almost impossible to reach that realm. Yet Lin Shi, a 15-year-old boy, had actually reached the 8th tier. Lin Mingjin looked at Lin Shi, filled with awe and emotion, but also a tinge of heartache. Lin Shi had achieved such terrifying strength in such a short time, thanks to his accumulation from the previous apocalypse. The hardships and effort he endured were beyond an ordinary person's imagination. Now, the stronger Lin Shi became, the heavier his burden. He had watched Lin Shi grow up since he was a child. How could his heart not ache for him? Lin Shi smiled, seemingly understanding Lin Mingjin's thoughts. "It's all thanks to Little Vine. Without it, I wouldn't have been able to recover to the 8th tier so quickly. Come on, don't worry. I have all of you with me now. I'll help you guys get stronger too. Lin Mingjin felt he had been overthinking things lately, so he nodded firmly and changed the subject. Your cousin is downstairs. That brat climbed over the wall again. Climbed the wall? I was wondering where Qiyun went. I'll go down and take a look. Shortly after, Lin Shi went downstairs and stood before everyone. Dad. Qin Shuang. Lin Shi greeted them. Lin Rongshuan patted Lin Shi's shoulder, his face full of pride. Not bad. Your physique has gotten even stronger. That's my son. Qin Shuang smiled and nodded at Lin Shi. Cousin, are you at the 6th tier? Qiyun hurriedly asked when he saw Lin Shi, his eyes full of curiosity and shock. Lin Shi chuckled. My level is a secret for now. Why are you here? Weren't you studying in the UK? Seeing that Lin Shi didn't want to say, Qiyun didn't press the issue. After all, he knew Lin Shi had been in secluded cultivation to break through, and since he succeeded, it was a sure thing. Swallowing his curiosity, he waved his hand and said, Hee hee, what does it matter? I've already finished the university curriculum. You're one to talk. Cousin, you're not going to school either. For Qiyun, someone born at the absolute pinnacle of society, studying was no longer a goal to strive for. Having unlocked his gene lock at a young age, his brain capacity far exceeded that of ordinary people. He had a photographic memory. He had endless money and power. The power he possessed from birth was something ordinary people could spend their entire lives striving for and never achieve. That was exactly why, in the previous apocalypse, Qiyun had been so arrogant and unmatched, because he always had the right to be. Qiyun had little interest in academics. He only pursued strength. He looked at Lin Shi with pure adoration. Cousin, I want to get stronger. Can you teach me? Every time a Qi family head took power, it would take several generations before a successor could take over. Therefore, Qi Qiyue didn't set his expectations too high for Qiyun. As long as he didn't cause trouble and could manage a few daily family affairs, it was fine. As the son of the Qi family head, Qiyun had enjoyed the family's abundant resources since childhood, though not as much as his father. Currently, origin materials hadn't exploded in abundance yet. The hidden families relied on their own scientific research teams to mine the origin materials needed for leveling up from deep underground. However, the mining speed and quantity were pitifully low. Aside from the daily needs of the main family lineage, it usually took decades or even centuries to accumulate enough origin materials to refine the pills that would help a high-level gene lock opener become the new family head. If an ordinary person with extraordinary talent accidentally unlocked their gene lock, it was no different from a deadly curse. The side effects of unlocking the gene lock, without enough origin materials to absorb, would destroy their normal genes. Even though Qiyun had extraordinary talent, in this world lacking origin materials, taking another step forward was incredibly difficult. Therefore, Qiyun was just asking to test the waters. Items that could increase one's strength were something even the owner wouldn't have enough of. They might not even share them with their own relatives. Not to mention, the two of them only shared a bloodline and had only met a few times. However, his admiration for Lin Shi was genuine. For someone of the same age to be as strong as Lin Shi, Qiyun could only look up to him. The gap was simply too vast. He couldn't even muster a shred of competitiveness. But a second later, Lin Shi's answer almost made Qiyun fly with joy. Sure, then you can stay here with me. What? Qiyun said in disbelief. Did he misunderstand? His cousin wanted to help him get stronger? Lin Shi figured that Qiyun's current Tier 2 level was indeed too low. If he could raise his level, then in the future, if Qi Qiuheng rebelled and something happened to the current family head, Qiyun would be able to shoulder some of the burden. Yeah, Tier 2 is really too low. Go upstairs and pick a room. Qiyun was almost overwhelmed by this massive surprise, his teenage temperament showing clearly without any disguise. Thanks, cousin. I'll go right now. Qiyun stayed at the manor. Qi didn't stay, but went out to buy a ton of things for Qiyun. Seeing a large truck pull into the manor, Lin Rongshuan thought Qiyun had bought out an entire department store. But that was just the beginning. Qiyun said the castle felt too empty, so he bought a massive amount of decorations, daily necessities, and consumables, piling them up in the manor. He even brought an entire truckload of clothes. Not just for himself, he also bought things for Lin Shi, Lin Mingjin, Lin Rongshuan, Qin Shuang, Lin Siyuan, and even Old Black. A whole slew of huge gifts. Cousin, I bought this watch for you. Try it on and see if you like it. If you don't, I'll exchange it for something else. Qi Yun held up a luxurious mechanical watch in front of Lin Shi. Lin Shi took it and set it aside. Thanks. The response was strangely calm. Qi Yun thought Lin Shi didn't like these mundane, worldly items, so he pulled a weapon out of a box behind him. This is a treasured sword that only the main lineage of our Qi family possesses. My dad told me to bring it to you. You can channel origin energy into it, and it cuts through iron like mud. The branch disciples, even Qi Yi and Qi San who were by Qi Yun's side, didn't have this kind of weapon. Only the main lineage of the Qi family owned them, passed down through generations and never revealed to outsiders. Needless to say, it was incredibly rare. Lin Shi glanced at the Tier 1 origin weapon Qi Yun brought out. He really wanted to show off the few Tier 8 origin weapons in his spatial dimension, but he wasn't that naive. He nodded and took it. Thanks. Qi Yun assumed Lin Shi didn't know how precious origin weapons were, and thought to himself, that's fine. Once cousin sees how sharp and powerful an origin weapon is, he'll understand how precious this gift is. Qi Yun didn't just prepare a gift for Lin Shi. Everyone, including Old Black, received gifts from him. They were all precious luxury items or custom-made goods. But aside from Old Black, who looked quite excited, everyone else's reaction was rather indifferent. For the first time, Qi Yun felt the wealth gap in front of ordinary people. It felt like he was giving gifts to the elders in his family. When dinner time came, everyone sat around the long table. Dinner was prepared by Qin Shuang and Lin Mingjin. Lin Mingjin was an excellent cook. The food he made was delicious, using only origin beast meat as the ingredient. Lin Mingjin had whipped up several dishes with different flavors. Everyone was served origin beast meat suited to their respective levels. The portion sizes were also fixed. Qi Yun looked at the single bowl of stewed meat in front of him, then looked at Lin Siyuan, who had the exact same amount, and felt full of doubt. Then he saw a large plate of roasted meat in front of Lin Shi, but the meat seemed different from what everyone else was eating. Furthermore, besides the roasted meat, Lin Shi also had vegetables and a bowl of soup. Lin Rongshuan, Lin Mingjin, and Qin Shuang only had meat, but the portion, the cooking method, and especially the color of the meat were completely different from his and Lin Siyuan's. As for Old Black's meal, it was just ordinary, everyday food, 2 dishes and a bowl of soup. Qi Yun's head was full of questions. Who eats like this for a meal? Moreover, even though he was underage, he had already unlocked the Tier 2 gene lock, so his appetite was larger than an adult's. He really wanted to say that this bowl of meat soup wasn't enough to fill him up, but thinking about how it was his first day here, and he was already asking for more, he felt it would be a bit impolite. He secretly decided that tomorrow, he would definitely tell Qi Yi to buy more cooking ingredients. Oh right, he also wanted to ask his cousin if Qi Wu could come stay with them, since Qi Wu was a great cook too. While lost in thought, Qi Yun picked up his spoon and took a bite of the meat soup right as Lin Shi started eating. The soup was delicious, the meat stewed so tender it melted in his mouth. As he swallowed a mouthful, Qi Yun's expression suddenly changed. After eating it, a surge of heat ran through his body. This familiar feeling. It's origin energy. Qi Yun's eyes widened, his jaw dropping. Thinking he might have felt it wrong, he scooped another spoonful of meat into his mouth. Pure origin energy spread in his mouth, then flowed down his esophagus into his stomach. His body absorbed the origin energy, every cell seemingly dancing and cheering. With just 2 pieces of meat, Qi Yun felt the origin energy in his body increase significantly. At the same time, his mind became much clearer. It seemed even his spiritual power had increased a bit. But how was this possible? What kind of meat contained origin energy? He stared blankly at the seemingly ordinary bowl of meat in front of him, then looked over at Lin Siyuan beside him. The 4-year-old boy already knew how to eat by himself. Holding a small spoon, he was seriously eating the meat soup bite by bite. It was clearly the exact same meat soup as his, but Lin Siyuan ate it without showing any unusual reaction, as if he was completely used to it. What did this prove? It meant Lin Siyuan probably ate this kind of meat every single day. Qi Yun looked over at the food of Lin Rongshuan, Lin Mingjin, and Qin Shuang, then glanced at Lin Shi, who was eating. A bold and absurd speculation flashed through Qi Yun's mind. Could it be that the meat they were eating tonight could all increase origin energy? Meat that increases origin energy, and it seems to increase spiritual power too. What in the world is this meat? Seeing Qi Yun spacing out and not eating, Lin Rongshuan mumbled, "Make yourself at home, nephew. Eat up. Your cousin stocked up on all this meat. You won't find this outside." Qi Yun struggled internally before finally gritting his teeth and asking, "Cousin, can I ask what kind of meat this is?" This question was quite impolite, and Qi Yun didn't really expect an answer. First of all, if he possessed something so rare, he would definitely hide it and enjoy it himself, absolutely never sharing it with others, let alone revealing its source. But he was too curious, too shocked. You have to understand, pills containing origin matter had been in the hands of the hidden families for thousands of years. A single origin pill sold on the black market would be fiercely sought after by countless elites. Origin pills containing origin matter didn't just strengthen the body and unlock the gene lock. Absorbing origin matter also extended lifespan, accelerated healing, and even cured certain terminal illnesses. The price of a single origin pill had been driven up to hundreds of millions, even billions, yet they were still incredibly scarce. But he had only eaten 2 bites of meat soup, and the amount of origin energy that increased was more than eating a dozen origin pills. It was clear how precious this meat was. What surprised Qi Yun was that Lin Shi didn't hesitate at all. He answered immediately, "Beast meat." Before Qi Yun could ask what kind of beast meat, Lin Shi continued, "It's the meat of a beast that has unlocked its gene lock, not ordinary beast meat. The one in your bowl seems to be a tier 3 wild boar. A beast that unlocked its gene lock." Qi Yun's face paled. "Don't overthink it. You won't find this kind of beast in the world right now." Qi Yun's eyes widened and his jaw dropped again, a massive wave of shock surging in his heart. Just those 2 sentences from Lin Shi contained way too much information. Even Qi Yun, who always prided himself on his quick reflexes and sharp mind, couldn't help but feel his brain short-circuiting a bit. Beasts unlocking gene locks. Outsiders might not know, but as the young master of the Qi family, Qi Yun knew. According to the ancient records of the hidden families, tens of thousands of years ago, before the end of the Ice Age, beasts could unlock their gene locks. They had colossal bodies and were extremely aggressive. But Qi Yun had always thought those were just mythological tales in the family's history, no different from the classic of mountains and seas. Besides, this wasn't the prehistoric era. How could there be wild beasts unlocking gene locks? And a tier 3 gene lock at that. He himself had only unlocked the tier 2 gene lock. It turned out he wasn't even as good as a wild boar. Wait, that wasn't the main point. The main point was, why did his cousin say there were no such gene lock unlocking beasts in the world right now? Could it be that there would be in the future? Qi Yun thought hard, but couldn't figure it out. Seeing the delicious food, he pushed his doubts aside and continued eating the meat soup. Halfway through his meal, a flash of emotion appeared in Qi Yun's eyes. Such incredible meat, and he just let him eat it like this. His cousin really didn't treat him as an outsider. He made up his mind. From now on, he would stick to his cousin like glue. For his cousin, he'd be willing to rip out his own heart and lungs. After dinner, everyone sat in the living room to digest their food. Qi Yun felt the origin energy and spiritual power in his body increase noticeably, feeling both overjoyed and touched. Pushing his emotions aside, Qi Yun curiously went over to Lin Shi and asked, "Cousin, Uncle keeps saying you raise a fierce beast in this manner. What kind of beast is it that it's so secretive?" "It's Little White. Let me introduce you." Lin Shi blinked a few times and sent a mental command. Outside the manor, Little White immediately sensed its master's summon and quickly ran toward the castle. The castle had multiple floors, and the main doors on the first floor were massive, easily big enough for Little White to enter the living room. Little White's giant head appeared first. As a tier 6 beast, Little White's body was even larger than a rhino's. Seeing such a colossal white wolf charge into the living room, Qi Yun was so terrified he froze in place, not daring to move an inch. Little White playfully stepped closer to Qi Yun and opened its jaws. Just as Qi Yun thought he was about to meet his ancestors, Lin Shi's voice rang out from behind. "Little White, don't scare him. Little White stuck its tongue out, licked Chi Yun's face once, then went over to Lin Shi and obediently lay down next to the sofa. Chi Yun was so scared his legs turned to jelly. The current Chi Yun was not yet the imposing Chi Yun from 3 years in the future. At the beginning of the apocalypse, humans and wild beasts evolved together. When origin beasts first appeared, Chi Yun had already broken through to Tier 3 right at the start of the apocalypse. At that time, the newly emerged low-level origin beasts were no match for Chi Yun and his subordinates. But right now, Chi Yun was only at Tier 2, while Little White was already at Tier 6. The sheer difference in level was enough for Little White to terrify any lower-level creature. Chi Yun wiped his face with his sleeve and walked over to sit down next to Lin Shi, his legs still a bit weak. "Cousin, is this the fierce beast you're raising? What breed is it?" "Little White is a wolf." "Has it unlocked its gene lock?" By now, Chi Yun was certain of his guess. Initially, he hadn't thought in this direction at all, but having just eaten the beast meat, which made him associate it with wild beasts unlocking their gene locks, he immediately figured it out. "Yes, Little White is very strong, and it can understand us when we speak. In a way, as long as it's trained, Little White's learning ability is no less than that of low-level evolved humans." Lin Shi stroked Little White's head. Little White raised its head slightly, finding the most comfortable position for Lin Shi to pet it. Chi Yun's face showed clear astonishment. He was a bit scared at first, but seeing Little White obediently listening to Lin Shi, his eyes lit up, and he leaned in to pet it. "Cousin, if Little White ever has pups in the future, can you give me one?" He wanted such a badass pet too. What guy? No, what boy could resist a fierce beast like this? Little White turned to look at Chi Yun, baring its teeth in an unfriendly manner. Lin Shi burst out laughing. Little White doesn't want to. Little White is still single anyway. If you want to raise a beast that has unlocked its gene lock, I can give you a different one. Chi Yun's eyes, which had just dimmed with disappointment, suddenly lit up. "Thank you, cousin." The next day, when Chi Yun woke up, Lin Shi was holding a 2-month-old wolf pup and handed it to him. This pup was the offspring of a Tier 4 white wolf in the pack. Chi Yun took the little wolf, overjoyed. He thanked Lin Shi profusely, completely viewing Lin Shi as his solid backing in his heart. No, more accurately, he truly saw him as his cousin. He ordered Chi Yi to bring all sorts of pet supplies, setting aside a portion specifically for Little White, and build a massive room for Little White next to the villa. A few days later, thanks to eating high-level origin beast meat, Chi Yun broke through to Tier 3. Lin Siyun also broke through at the same time as Chi Yun. Both of them successively unlocked their Tier 3 gene locks. At first, Chi Yun was quite smug about unlocking his Tier 3 gene lock at such a young age. But when he found out that Lin Siyun, who was only 4 years old, had also unlocked his Tier 3 gene lock, he was instantly shell-shocked. He even started doubting his life and was depressed for several days. While Chi Yun was relaxing at the villa, far away at the Chi family estate, Chi Chioheng was anything but at peace. "All my men died at that villa. Not a single one came back." The oppressive aura of Chi Chioheng, a Tier 4 powerhouse, crashed down on his trembling subordinate. Chi Yi, kneeling on one knee, felt his master's fury and kept his head down, not daring to say a word. Chi Chioheng would break through to Tier 5 after the apocalypse. Currently, he was only a Tier 4 powerhouse, but he was already one of the 2 strongest people in the Chi family. However, compared to Chi Chiyue, he was still a step behind. Originally, he had been secretly accumulating power, slowly dividing and bribing those close to Chi Chiyue. He was just waiting for the day he unlocked his Tier 5 gene lock to unleash all his strength, destroy Chi Chiyue, and become the new master of the Chi family. Of course, he also had to get rid of that old geezer, Chi Wanshan. At first, everything was going according to Chi Chioheng's plan. But then Lin Shi appeared. Not only did he lose his right-hand man, Chi Bing, but Chi Jia, whom he had spent so much effort to bribe, also died at Lin Shi's hands. What Chi Yun had investigated, Chi Chioheng had also investigated. Knowing that Lin Rongxuan and Lin Shi were in High City, Chi Chioheng had sent quite a few people to investigate or assassinate them. But unexpectedly, of all the people who went to that villa, not a single one returned to report back, missing without a trace. Chi Chioheng was so furious his face turned green. Just then, A subordinate ran in to report. Master, the family head has called for a clan meeting today and invites you to attend. Chi Chohung frowned. Aren't clan meetings always held at the end of the year? Why is there one so early? He didn't know the situation. I only know it's urgent. The elders from the other branches have already arrived. A wave of unease rose in Chi Chohung's heart. He stood up and glanced at Chi Yi, who was still kneeling on the ground. Get up. Come to the meeting with me. Arriving at the assembly hall, Chi Chohung saw that most of the seats were already filled. What shocked Chi Chohung was that even Chi Wanshan was present. No. Why is father here too? What did Awa call us here for that's so serious? Chi Wanshan had retired and hadn't participated in clan meetings for decades. Earlier, he had been furious with Chi Chuyua, but in front of everyone, Chi Wanshan couldn't scold his unfilial son and make Chi Chuyua lose face. He just closed his eyes and said slowly, wait for Awa. We'll know when he gets here. Sit down. Soon, aside from Chi Chuyua, everyone qualified to attend the clan meeting was present. Not long after, Chi Chuyua walked into the hall and sat in the head seat. Chi Chohung glanced at Chi Chuyua's seat, then withdrew his gaze. All right, everyone is here. Let's begin today's clan meeting. Hold on. It was Chi Wanshan. Why are we missing people? Where are Chi Jia and Chi Bing? And that brat, Chi Yin? Did you notify them? All Chi family disciples at Tier 3 or above, whether from the main lineage or branch families, had the right to attend the meeting. Furthermore, all main lineage disciples were required to be present. This was the rule. Most of the people present were those who used to follow Chi Wanshan, stubborn elders who didn't listen to Chi Chohung. There were also Chi Choyua's trusted aides, and Chi Chohung's trusted aide, Chi Yi. Hearing Chi Wanshan's words, before Chi Choyua could speak, Chi Chohung felt his heart pounding, his sense of unease growing stronger. Chi Choyua said, everyone who needed to be notified was notified last week. If they aren't here now, they probably aren't coming. Since father brought it up, I'll get straight to the point. Chi Choyua pulled out a file. Historically, the family's external affairs have been handled by Big Brother, and the deployment of Chi family disciples for outside operations has also been managed by him. Recently, I took the opportunity to review the mission records of the family's disciples. I found that in recent years, the mortality rate of Chi family disciples on missions is much higher than before. This year alone, our Chi family has lost over 100 people. Among them were even Chi Jia and Chi Bing, two pillars of the family, causing a severe blow to our overall strength. I want to ask Big Brother, what missions were these people doing when they died? Why do your reports list all of them as accidental deaths? What? Chi Jia is dead? Chi Bing is dead too. What kind of accident could kill people with their level of strength? Impossible. Could it be that the other families made a move against us? Gasps and murmurs erupted throughout the hall, being questioned in front of everyone. Chi Chohung's face paled, his initial bad premonition confirmed. Sure enough, this meeting was aimed at him. He had clearly sent people to inquire about this matter, yet now it was being brought up in front of everyone to put him on the spot. Damn you, Chi Choyua. Chi Chohung tried his best to suppress his anger. He said, our family does business across all industries and in many countries. Occasionally, competitors make a move and accidents do happen. It's just that the number of deaths is a bit higher this year. In this world, people die every second. Our Chi family has such a massive enterprise. It's normal for people to pass away. Do you really need to make such a big fuss over this small matter? Chi Chohung wanted to brush the issue aside, glancing at Chi Choyua, signaling him to consider their brotherhood and not make things difficult for him. Chi Chohung knew Chi Choyua valued family ties highly, so he always maintained a good facade, making Chi Choyua trust him deeply. Normally, as long as he offered a few words of apology, Chi Choyua would forgive him. But today, Chi Choyua acted as if he didn't see it. He said in a displeased tone, two pillars of the family passed away at the same time, and it was also caused by competitors? May I ask, Big Brother, which competitor is so powerful that they dare to make a move against two elders of our Chi family? I will send people to wipe them out and avenge our clansmen. Chi Chohung was speechless. He was furious inside that Chi Choyua wasn't leaving him an out, his aggressive attitude terrifying. He couldn't possibly tell Chi Choyua that so many people died because he was trying to kill his wife. Despite his internal resentment, he still had to play along with Chi Chiyue on the surface and say, "I'll be more careful from now on." From now on, Chi Chiyue's tone was light, but it carried an irrefutable authority. "I don't think Big Brother is suited to manage the clan's external affairs and personnel deployment anymore. From today onward, I will take charge of all external affairs. You are all core members of the Chi family, but from now on, anyone who wants to deploy clansmen or carry out a mission involving more than 3 people must report to me." Hearing this, the discussions in the hall ceased, and the entire room fell into dead silence. Since Chi Chiyue took over as family head, this was one of the rare times he had spoken so seriously. In the past, as long as the Chi family's internal affairs weren't too outrageous, Chi Chiyue usually let them slide. Such strictness was truly rare. Chi Chioheng looked at Chi Chiyue in shock and disbelief, anger and hatred flaring up in his heart. So, this clan meeting was meant to strip him of his power. He had known nothing about it beforehand and was caught completely off guard. His hands clenched tightly under the table, veins bulging. He had worked so hard to reach this position, secretly preparing for this day, only to be struck down now, as if his limbs had been severed. A few elderly clan elders stroked their beards. The one with the longest beard said, "Family head, my grandson is getting married next month. A few of my old friends and I want to attend the wedding. Do we need to report that too?" "Yes. If it's more than 3 people, you must report it." "Elder, please remember to record the names of those going, the location, and the time, and register them with me." Many people sucked in a breath. Even going out for private matters had to be reported? Then in Chi Chiyue's eyes, they would have no secrets at all. But Chi Chiyue was the head of the Chi family, holding supreme authority, the strongest person in the family. As long as Chi Chiyue spoke, the entire Chi family had to obey, at least on the surface. Therefore, even though many were dissatisfied with this decision, no one dared to object. Chi Wanshan could have spoken up, but he said nothing. This showed that even the old family head had no objections to Chi Chiyue's decision. Or perhaps the old family head had already agreed to it. Because of this, those who had close ties with Chi Chiyue, who outnumbered those with fewer ties, all looked toward Chi Chioheng. Everyone waited for Chi Chioheng to speak, hoping he could persuade Chi Chiyue to change his mind. Sure enough, Chi Chioheng spoke up. "Ayue, doing this will be very inconvenient for everyone. Do you want to reconsider?" Chi Chiyue looked calmly at Chi Chioheng, his voice betraying no emotion. "Are you using your status as my older brother to pressure me, or are you using some other status to question me?" Chi Chioheng's face paled. Those words were like an invisible hand slapping Chi Chioheng across the face, making him flush red with anger. Previously, Chi Chiyue had handed over many of the Chi family's affairs to Chi Chioheng to manage, so his status in the family was almost on par with Chi Chiyue's. But now that his power was revoked, Chi Chioheng was no different from an ordinary core member of the Chi family. Before this, Chi Jia and several elders in the hall all had Tier 4 strength. Generally speaking, Chi Chioheng was nothing special. Therefore, Chi Chiyue's question was incredibly sharp. What right did Chi Chioheng have to question the authority of the family head? Based on his status as an adopted son? Or based on his strength? Chi Chiyue was practically saying outright, "Who are you to dare question me?" "Yes, I understand." Chi Chioheng gritted his teeth as he squeezed out those words. Despite his internal fury, Chi Chioheng still believed that Chi Chiyue was just angry over the death of his trusted subordinate, Chi Jia, and wanted to vent his anger on him. Perhaps after the meeting ended and Chi Chiyue's anger subsided, if he said a few nice words and offered some gifts, he might be forgiven by Chi Chiyue, and then he could regain his power just like before. Thinking this, Chi Chioheng's expression softened a bit, and he began to put on an act. "The casualties caused by the internal management of the clansmen are indeed due to my ineffective supervision. I'm sorry, Ayue. I am ashamed to face the deceased clansmen, and I have failed your trust. If punishing me can make you feel better, I will accept the punishment." Chi Chioheng stood up. He bowed deeply. He was using the tactic of taking 1 step back to advance 10 steps. He thought Chi Chiyue would immediately help him up, but unexpectedly, Chi Chiyue said coldly, "If Big Brother is truly ashamed, then go to the Chi family's ancestral hall and pray for the entire clan for 7 days. Chi Chiohing was stunned. That settles this matter. There is one more thing I want to announce to everyone here today. While Chi Chiohung was still wondering if he had misheard, Chi Chiyue continued. My younger sister, Chi Yin, gave birth to a child who is now fully grown. I want to bring the child back to the Chi family and raise him as part of the main lineage. At the same time, regarding what happened back then, the person who supervised. Before Chi Chiyue could finish his sentence, Chi Wanshan shot up and roared. If you bring him back, I will no longer acknowledge you as my son. Chi Chiyue had long known that Chi Wanshan would object. His voice remained unhurried. Father, although you are my father, I am currently the head of the Chi family, holding the supreme decision-making power. Father, don't say I didn't give you a chance to object. According to our ancestors' rules, if you defeat me today, you decide this matter. But if I win, things will go my way. No one knew that in this modern society, with the rule of law and advanced science, the Chi family still followed the principle of might makes right. The weak submit to the strong. As soon as Chi Chiyue finished speaking, his Tier 5 aura erupted, sweeping across the entire hall. The whole hall was terrified. Chi Wanshan pointed a trembling finger at Chi Chiyue, clearly enraged beyond measure. Do you know what you're saying? Although both were at Tier 5, Chi Chiyue was in his prime, while Chi Wanshan was old and frail. There was no debate. Everyone knew Chi Chiyue's strength was vastly superior. Several Chi family elders secretly exchanged glances. The incident back then involved Chi Yin. At that time, Chi Chiyue hadn't broken through yet. He had bitterly begged the old family head to spare Chi Yin, saying that if the family's 1,000-year-old treasure was lost, then so be it. But Chi Wanshan resented Chi Yin for refusing to be disciplined and insisting on marrying an outsider, which damaged his dignity and face as the family head. He insisted on capturing Chi Yin and bringing her back, even placing Chi Chiyue under house arrest, forbidding him from leaving. To persuade his father to revoke the arrest warrant, Chi Chiyue knelt in front of Chi Wanshan's study for 3 days and 3 nights. In the end, he only replied with one sentence. If you defeat me, I will let Chi Yin go and let that rebellious daughter fend for herself. At that time, Chi Chiyue, exhausted from 3 days and nights without food or water, fought against Chi Wanshan, a Tier 5 master. The result was obvious. Chi Chiyue lost. In that battle, Chi Wanshan completely overpowered Chi Chiyue, beating him until he couldn't fight back. But as long as he was still breathing, Chi Chiyue refused to admit defeat. The fight only ended when Chi Chiyue collapsed, unable to stand back up. Chi Wanshan immediately ordered his subordinates to take Chi Chiyue back to his courtyard, forbidding him from taking a single step outside. Later, the news of Chi Yan's death spread. Now, the tables had turned. The challenger was Chi Chiyue, and the one in the weaker position was Chi Wanshan. Chi Wanshan said angrily, "How did I give birth to such an unfilial son like you?" Chi Chiyue smiled, a smile mixed with an incomprehensible calmness and deep sorrow. If I had a choice, I wouldn't have chosen you as my father either. But neither of us had a choice. Chi Wanshan was so furious his chest ached, his body swaying. Chi Chioheng hurriedly supported him. Father, don't be angry. Aiyue didn't mean to make you mad. But he slapped Chi Chioheng's hand away. Good. Very good. Your wings have grown hard now, haven't they? You want to fight? I accept. I want to see if this unfilial son dares to strike his own father. Chi Chioheng looked at Chi Chiyue anxiously and advised, Aiyue, don't make father angry. His health isn't what it used to be. Is it worth upsetting your family over someone who's been dead for decades? This sentence unintentionally added fuel to the fire. Everyone knew that Chi Chiyue's closest family member was Chi Yin, who had been dead for decades. Chi Chiyue looked at Chi Chioheng, the killing intent in his eyes almost impossible to conceal. Chi Chioheng was frightened by Chi Chiyue's gaze. This was the first time he had seen such an expression on Chi Chiyue's usually calm face. It was a look that hid absolute, seething hatred. Chi Chioheng's heart pounded. Could it be that Chi Chiyue already knew the truth about what happened back then? Since father has agreed, then tomorrow afternoon, we will decide the victor in the arena. Having said his piece, Chi Chiyue left the hall without hesitation. Returning to his study, He picked up his phone and called Chi Yun. Little Yun, are you and Lin Shi free tomorrow around noon? Hearing an affirmative answer from the other end of the line, Chi Chiu smiled in satisfaction. He hung up the phone and leaned back in his chair to relax. Yan, I will avenge you. The news that the current family head, Chi Chiu, wanted to fight the old family head, Chi Wanshan, spread throughout the Chi family estate after the clan meeting. Even the sweepers in the outermost areas of the Chi family heard the news. Hey, did you hear? The family head wants to fight the old family head. Right at noon tomorrow. Wow, I wonder if we'll be able to watch it. Getting to witness a battle between two Tier 5 powerhouses. That's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Do you guys know? I heard the family head wanting to fight the old family head is related to the eldest Mrs. incident from back then. I need to go to the arena tonight to scout out a spot. Otherwise, there won't be any room to stand tomorrow. The family head and the old family head fighting. The old family head hasn't made an appearance in a very long time. I even thought. I heard the old family head is old and frail. He probably isn't a match for the family head. They're father and son, after all. How could the family head bring himself to strike? Maybe it's to get revenge for what happened back then. What revenge? Tell me the details, tell me. Although most people in the Chi family didn't discuss this matter openly, it didn't stop them from secretly telling their close acquaintances. Before long, the entire Chi family estate knew that Chi Chiu wanted revenge, which was why he challenged the old family head to a fight. Even Chi Wanshan, deep in the back mountains, quickly heard the increasingly serious news from his guards. At this moment, Chi Wanshan no longer had the angry and disappointed look he had at the clan meeting. He sneered, wants revenge? Humph. Does he think he can beat me just because I'm old? Chi Chioheng stood beside Chi Wanshan, his face respectful. Ginger gets spicier with age. Awa is still too young. He hasn't left the house all these years, so he doesn't know that you've always been diligently cultivating. Maybe he thinks I'm about to die, and if he doesn't get his revenge now, it'll be too late. Chi Wanshan narrowed his eyes, his aged gaze full of sharpness. Yeah, do you think Awa knows something? So what if he knows? A rebellious daughter who betrayed the family and tainted the Chi family's bloodline. Killing her was the right thing to do. If she gave birth to a half-blood, wouldn't that just let the other families mock us? It turned out that Chi Wanshan had outwardly told Chi Chiu he would send people to bring Chi Yin back, but in reality, he had ordered them to leave her for dead. Especially the child in Chi Yan's womb. It absolutely had to be killed. Over the years, Chi Chioheng's pursuit of Lin Rongxuan had also been tacitly approved by Chi Wanshan. Chi Chioheng chimed in. Out of tens of thousands of ordinary people, it's hard to find even one who can unlock their gene lock. If we let someone with ordinary blood taint the Chi family's bloodline, the future generations of the Chi family would be greatly affected. You're right. If I had spared that rebellious daughter, other clansmen would have followed suit and sought out outsiders in the future. The Chi family's bloodline would weaken over generations. I did it for the family. The law shows no favoritism. Chi Wanshan nodded in satisfaction. He believed he wasn't wrong. He was a meritorious servant of the Chi family. Suddenly remembering something, Chi Wanshan turned to look at Chi Chioheng, his face displeased. How have you been handling things lately, letting even Chi Jia get killed? A few helpers suddenly appeared beside Lin Rongxuan. Especially who? Especially Lin Rongxuan's son. For him to be able to kill Chi Jia, his strength must be at least Tier 4 or above. Chi Chioheng couldn't believe that a teenager had unlocked his gene lock to Tier 4. It was unbelievable. He thought Chi Wanshan would be very surprised, but Chi Wanshan just glanced at him indifferently. Your information is outdated. I received news that Lin Shi has already reached Tier 6. Tier 6? How is that possible? It was no wonder Chi Chioheng didn't believe it. The first time he heard Chi Chiu mention it, Chi Wanshan didn't believe it either. Tier 6 was definitely an exaggeration. That wasn't a realm humans of this era could reach. But Lin Shi had already unlocked his Tier 5 gene lock. Chi Wanshan frowned. I find it hard to believe too. Even if he started cultivating in the womb, it's impossible for a teenager to reach Tier 5. After learning about Lin Shi from Chi Chiu, Chi Wanshan had sent people to investigate Lin Shi's background and information from childhood to adulthood. Lin Shi's information was very simple. Before the age of 15, He lived like a normal student, going to school, finishing classes, and going home. Until 3 months ago, one day, Lin Shi suddenly took a sick leave from school, called his adoptive father Lin Mingjin home, and helped him escape an assassination attempt. From then on, Lin Shi changed completely, doing things he could never have done before. For example, he should have continued going to school, but from that day on, he never returned. First, he rented a house outside and waited for a while. Not long after, an arsonist died there. Then, Lin Shi traveled south alone to Sha City. According to his subordinates' reports, in Sha City, Lin Shi came into contact with people he had never met before. For instance, Qin Shuang, whom Lin Shi brought back to High City. The two had never met, yet Lin Shi helped Qin Shuang escape the torture of her adoptive parents. During his time in Sha City, anyone who came into direct or indirect contact with Lin Shi died mysteriously. One could argue that because of his relationship with his adoptive mother, he knew of Qin Shuang's existence, but that didn't sound very plausible either. After that, Lin Shi went to Europe and killed Qi Jia, Qi Bing, and the others. Surveillance footage showed that Lin Shi remained calm, and his expression didn't change at all after killing people in that restaurant. Killing dozens of people without batting an eye, that was completely unlike a student who grew up in a warm family. What caught Qi Wanshan's attention the most was, how could an ordinary child upgrade to Tier 5 right after graduating? If he could find out how Lin Shi leveled up, perhaps he would have a chance to break through to Tier 6. Qi Wanshan's long-hidden desires flared up into boundless ambition. Qi Qiuheng speculated in shock. Could the information be wrong? Maybe someone else killed Qi Jia. The truth was too hard to believe, so Qi Qiuheng could only guess in a different direction. Qi Wanshan slowly shook his head. It's not wrong. It was him. This is the information Old Fong investigated. Old Fong was Qi Wanshan's capable subordinate. Despite his old age, he still possessed Tier 4 strength, and his methods and experience were unmatched by ordinary people. Horror was evident on Qi Qiuheng's face. He himself was only at Tier 4. Tier 5 was the pinnacle he had pursued his entire life. In the whole world, the number of people who had reached Tier 5 could be counted on one hand, and most of them were from the hidden families. And now, a teenager had easily achieved it. This news would definitely shock the 4 great hidden families. That Lin Shi has no goodwill toward the Qi family whatsoever. He even hates us. Right now, he's still young and easy to deal with. But if we let him grow, he'll definitely be a massive disaster for the Qi family. Thinking about how he had hunted Lin Rongshuan for years, Qi Qiuheng grew more terrified the more he thought about it. The murder of his mother, an irreconcilable blood feud. With such powerful strength, he absolutely wouldn't let him off. Now that he had the Qi family's backing, he had to strike first to eliminate future troubles. Qi Wanshan sneered. Of course that bastard can't be left alive. But he holds a secret that can help people quickly unlock their gene locks. We must get our hands on this secret. What do you plan to do? I'll fully support you. Huh. Awa wants to bring Lin Shi back, right? Then let him have his way. Didn't you say you wouldn't let that bastard return? You even accepted the duel. Qi Qiuheng was stunned. Qi Wanshan burst out laughing, his face full of mockery. He challenged me in front of everyone. What if I didn't accept? Do you think Awa wouldn't suspect me? He dared to slap this old family head's face in front of so many people, so of course I have to give him a chance. Qi Qiuheng's eyes flashed as he chimed in. So you were just pretending to agree, waiting to lose to Awa during the duel. That way, Awa can openly and justifiably bring that bastard back to the Qi family. Inwardly, Qi Qiuheng was secretly on guard. Ginger really is spicier with age. This old geezer had lived for nearly 300 years. Old but refusing to die, he truly couldn't be underestimated. You're wrong. I will win the duel. I want to let him know that even if he wants to bring that bastard back, it must be granted by me. He thinks he's strong now and that I'm no match for him? Then I'll teach him a lesson. Never underestimate your opponent, even if they're old and frail. A father is always a father, and a son is always a son. Seeing a golden light suddenly flash in Qi Wanshan's eyes, Qi Qiuheng's heart trembled. It's decided. Qi Wanshan waved his hand. Go. Stop guessing. With your brain, you won't figure it out anyway. Get out. Qi Qiuheng seemed used to Qi Wanshan's scolding. He put on a serious, obedient face, constantly saying, "Yes, yes." But when he turned to leave the courtyard, a sinister, vicious look flashed in his eyes. It seemed he and Chi Chiuyue had underestimated this old geezer who was about to kick the bucket. The next day, at the airport, Chi Yun, along with a few subordinates and Lin Shi, got off the plane. At first, Chi Yun thought Lin Shi wouldn't agree when he received his father's call asking him to come to the estate. After all, that was the place that had killed his mother and hunted his father. If it were him, he absolutely wouldn't set foot there. Unexpectedly, as soon as Chi Yun mentioned it, Lin Shi agreed without hesitation. This made Chi Yun feel overly favored, thinking Lin Shi only agreed to give him face. Deeply moved, Chi Yun went over to Lin Shi, winking and signaling. "Cousin, just stroll around the estate today. Some other day, I'll take you out to have some real fun. This is the Chi family's turf. You can play whatever you want." As for the Tier 6 realm, in the thousands of years of the four great hidden families' history, no one had ever reached Tier 6. This wasn't a realm people of this era could reach. "What do you usually do for fun?" Lin Shi pushed Chi Yun away as he leaned too close to his face. "Hee hee, for a rich young master like me who doesn't lack money, I can play whatever I want." Chi Yun grinned from ear to ear, still wanting to keep Lin Shi in suspense. Chi Wu chimed in from the side. For example, building a miniature, perfectly scaled replica of a tall sailing ship and letting it drift down the river. Or running around the estate holding a bloody chunk of raw meat, racing a cheetah to see who's faster. Or researching why platypuses have 26 pairs of chromosomes but can't reproduce on their own. Chi Wu smiled at Chi Yun and said, "In a way, the young master is truly outstanding." Lin Shi smiled and glanced at Chi Wu. His impression of Chi Wu was still very deep. As the only woman under Chi Yun, the last time Lin Shi saw Chi Wu was during the fierce battle with Hu Jiangjian. At that time, Chi Wu had been abandoned by Chi Yun, but she still risked her life to hold off Hu Jiangjian to buy time for Chi Yun. Both Chi Wu and Chi had left quite a deep impression on Lin Shi. She was good at gathering information. Chi said, "As for Chi, cousin, just tell me what you want to play. Now that I'm Tier 3, we can play even more thrilling games." At this age, Chi Yun was incredibly playful and curious. Chi smiled and said beside the young master, "That hunting club wants to invite you over again. They said they have a new game this time, absolutely thrilling." "What game?" he asked curiously. Chi whispered a reminder. "Young master, the family head told us to return to the clan before noon. Because the flight was delayed, it's already past noon." Chi Yun's expression changed. "Do I need you to remind me of that? Let's go? You two are always bickering. Cousin, let's head back to the clan." The group left the airport and headed straight for the Chi family estate. The Chi family arena. The Chi family's courtyard had an open space the size of a football field. This arena had been here since the estate was built. The arena had a total of 9 martial arts rings, one main ring in the center, surrounded by 8 smaller rings. Normally, Chi family disciples would spar and exchange moves in the 8 smaller rings. Those who were belligerent, wanted to test their strength, or had hidden grudges would all come to the arena to settle the score. But since most people had their own missions, the arena usually wasn't crowded. The main ring was only used for major family events or important matches. Today, the entire arena was bustling. Not only the permanent residents of the clan, but even those out on missions, if they could make it back in time, had all gathered at the main ring. The whole arena was packed tight, with everyone crowding around the main ring, leaving only a few narrow aisles just wide enough for 2 people. Under the glaring sun, everyone patiently waited for the main characters to appear. Family head Chi Chiue, who was always known for being gentle within the clan, and old family head Chi Wanshan, who was famous for his strictness and decisiveness in the previous generation. "When is it going to start? It's so hot today. Don't rush. This once-in-a-century event is worth the wait." Over a decade ago, Chi Chiue fought Chi Wanshan and lost in just a few moves. At that time, only a few people witnessed it, and Chi Chiue wasn't the family head yet. A family head fighting the old family head is incredibly rare, even among the 4 great families. I wonder if the old family head will win this time. Hee, I'm betting on the new family head. The old family head is old, after all. Not necessarily. The new family head lost to the old family head over a decade ago. The old family head has lived for nearly 300 years. His combat experience is unmatched. Do you guys know? I heard the family head wanting to fight the old family head is related to the eldest Mrs. Incident from back then. Brother, do you know about it? Tell me. No way. The family head's spiritual power is incredibly strong. If he hears me, I'm dead meat. Long story short, if the family head wins this time, just wait and see. Our Chi family is going to have a new rising star. This person looked smug, acting like a know-it-all. Just then, a voice rang out from outside the crowd. The family head has arrived. Everyone turned to look toward the arena entrance. Chi Chuyue appeared, dressed in a simple, neat white tracksuit. As soon as he arrived, the crowd instantly fell silent. No one dared to whisper anymore. A Tier 5 powerhouse could use their spiritual power to monitor everyone at any time. The silence didn't last long before someone else shouted, "The old family head has arrived." Chi Wanshan, along with 3 white-haired elders, appeared amidst the murmuring crowd. Chi Wanshan wore black clothes, his gray hair tied neatly behind his head. Compared to his previous frail appearance, he looked full of vitality. Seeing Chi Chuyue already waiting in the ring, Chi Wanshan leaped up and landed in front of him. "Son." Their eyes met, one calm, the other imposing. Chi Wanshan whispered, so only the two of them could hear. "It's not too late to regret and admit defeat now. You know how this match will go? If you win, you'll bear the reputation of being unfilial. If you lose, you'll only ruin your prestige as the family head. And yet, you still want to fight me?" Chi Chuyue acted as if he didn't hear him. He took a step back, cupped his fists, and said, "Father, I am ready." Chi Wanshan's eyes turned cold. Then he snapped, "Very well. I gave you one last chance. Since you don't want it, don't blame me for being ruthless." Chi Chohung also stepped down from the ring. He looked at the father and son in the ring, his gaze unreadable. Chi Rong, the Chi family's butler, who had been invited to act as the referee, sighed. "Are you two ready?" The two men in the ring kept their distance. Chi Rong spoke according to custom. "This is a friendly spar. Stop before going too far." Chi Wanshan scoffed coldly. "Fists and kicks have no eyes. There's no need to hold back. Since the son wants to beat his old man, then I'll put my life on the line against him." As soon as Chi Wanshan finished speaking, the entire arena was in an uproar. Many people looked at Chi Chuyue with strange expressions, especially the older members of the family. Just as Chi Chuyue had said, in this match, whether he won or lost, he was at a disadvantage. Below the ring, quite a few clansmen were whispering. One person spoke up, and others immediately echoed. How could the family head raise his hand against his own father? When the patriarch disciplined him back then, wasn't it just a father teaching his son? Logically speaking, it's truly unfilial. He's too muddled, using his youth and strength to fight the old ancestor. Even if he wins, there's no glory in it. The old patriarch has dedicated over 200 years to the Chi family. He shouldn't have to suffer this humiliation. Even though Chi Chuyue could hear them, some people still grumbled in displeasure. How could Chi Chuyue kill people just for speaking the truth? Seeing that his goal had been achieved, a look of satisfaction appeared in Chi Wanshan's eyes. He wanted to show everyone this unfilial son. Seeing public opinion leaning toward Chi Wanshan, Butler Chi Rong didn't dare delay and shouted loudly, "The match begins." As soon as the words fell, Chi Wanshan lunged forward like a hunting leopard, launching a preemptive strike at Chi Chuyue. Chi Chuyue's expression didn't change. Facing Chi Wanshan's sweeping kick, he neither dodged nor evaded, taking the blow head-on. As the two clashed, gasps rang out from below the ring. Why didn't the family head dodge? Why isn't the family head fighting back? Right from the start, Chi Wanshan launched fierce attacks, while Chi Chuyue didn't dodge, evade, or fight back. It wasn't until Chi Wanshan realized his intention and prepared to kick Chi Chuyue off the ring that he quickly dodged. "Didn't you want to fight me? Why aren't you fighting back? Fight back." Chi Chuyue wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and said calmly, "I already said, as long as you agree to bring my nephew back to the clan, this match doesn't need to happen. It's not that I want to fight, but that you force me to fight. As long as you don't beat me to death, I will absolutely not admit defeat in this match." Chi Chuyue's voice wasn't loud, but it echoed throughout the entire arena. The crowd was in an uproar again. So the family head is doing this to bring his nephew back. Didn't the eldest miss die back then? Didn't they say both mother and child died? The family head and the eldest miss had such a good relationship. It makes sense that he wants to bring his nephew back. But that child only has half the Chi family's bloodline. What if we bring him back and he's trash? Then just make him a branch descendant. The family can afford to raise one more person anyway. No wonder the family head challenged him to a match. The old family head wouldn't really beat the family head to death, right? This time, public sentiment had shifted toward Chi Chuyue. Chi Wanshan stopped his attacks, a look of fury appearing on his face as he glared at Chi Chuyue. So this was your true goal. I really underestimated you. Chi Chuyue said bluntly. Father, I want to bring my nephew home. By proposing this match, Chi Chuyue never intended to win. He just needed to hold on and not lose. Whether in the past or present, he couldn't force his father to change his mind, nor could he do something as unfilial as killing or beating his own father. Therefore, he could only use a passive method to show his stance and gradually secure victory for himself. Didn't Chi Wanshan always believe that the family's interests and honor were above all else? If Chi Wanshan won, the image he had built up over the years would collapse. So, would Chi Wanshan choose to compromise to maintain his image? Or would he stubbornly stick to his choice and refuse to let his grandson step foot into the Chi family? Guessing Chi Chuyue's intentions, Chi Wanshan was so angry he laughed. Good. You truly are my son. Then let's see just how tough your bones are. Chi Wanshan's face turned extremely dark, his body trembling slightly with rage. He was clearly infuriated to the extreme by Chi Chuyue. Sharper, more vicious attacks were directed at Chi Chuyue. This time, Chi Wanshan didn't hold back. Every strike aimed at spots that could severely injure Chi Chuyue. Each punch that landed on Chi Chuyue's body produced a dull thud. Blood quickly spilled from the corner of Chi Chuyue's mouth, but he didn't step back, nor did he fight back. He only dodged the attacks that could knock him out or throw him out of the ring. Under Chi Wanshan's fierce assault, Chi Chuyue immediately spat out a mouthful of fresh blood, clutching his chest and coughing incessantly. Admit defeat. It's not too late. Otherwise, don't blame me for showing no mercy. Chi Wanshan stopped attacking, panting as he glared at Chi Chuyue. Chi Chuyue looked at Chi Wanshan with unwavering resolve. He is Yin's only son. My nephew. Your grandson. Unless you beat me to death, I will absolutely not change my demand. Over 1,000 meters away from the Chi family estate, Chi Yun's car was stopped as it approached. Chi, who was clearing the way in front, got out of the car, took out Chi Yun's token, and said to the guard at the watchtower, Do you see this clearly? The car behind is the young master's. Open the gate immediately. The guard in charge immediately smiled, bowed respectfully, and said, Yes, sir. But please allow us to check if there are any outsiders in the car. With that, he walked toward the car. Stop. I already told you the car behind is the young master's. Didn't you hear me? You want to inspect the young master's car too. The old family head ordered that anyone entering the estate recently must be thoroughly inspected. Brother Chi, please don't make things difficult for me. Hearing that it was the old family head's order, Chi fell silent. Inside the car, Chi Yun frowned, a look of displeasure on his face. What's going on? He turned to Lin Shi. Cousin, sit here. I'll go down and take a look. Chi Yun got out of the car. Seeing Chi Yun storming over, Chi hurriedly explained, Young master, they said it's the old family head's order. Chi Yun sneered. Since when is the Chi family run by the old family head? My dad is the current head of the Chi family. The guard remained stubborn. Young master, if there's no one else in your car, letting us take a quick look shouldn't be a problem. Why make things difficult for us? Chi Yun sneered. He nodded, then suddenly grabbed the guard who had just spoken and slammed him hard into the ground. Before the others could react, they saw their comrade's neck snapped by Chi Yun. Chi Yun looked around, his face arrogant. This is the fate of anyone who dares to oppose me. You all better know your place and know who to listen to. If you want revenge, bring it on, as long as you have the strength. With that, he returned to the car. Lin Shi frowned, watching Chi Yun take a wet wipe from Chi to clean his hands. Sure enough, This was the real Qi Yun. This time, there were no more obstacles. Lin Shi and Qi Yun drove straight to the gates of the Qi family. Qi Yun said, "Cousin, we're home." Lin Shi swept his spiritual power across the entire Qi family estate. The estate was massive, 10 times the size of his manor. But Lin Shi frowned. "What's wrong, cousin?" Qi Yun asked. "Does your dad have a mole at the corner of his right eye?" Qi Yun was surprised. "Cousin, you didn't even know, and you guessed it? Oh, I forgot you can freely release your spiritual power. Yeah, that's my dad, right? He's super handsome, isn't he?" Lin Shi's frown deepened. "Your dad is about to be killed. What did you say?" The match was taking place right in the center of the arena, and the situation was heading in a direction no one expected. Qi Qiuyue's white tracksuit was stained with blood. It was a shocking sight. One of his arms was broken, but Qi Qiuyue still stood tall. Everyone could feel the unyielding pride radiating from him. Many people looked sympathetic, even those who had initially criticized Qi Qiuyue. Qi Wanshan also hadn't expected a sparring match to turn out like this. Qi Qiuyue's refusal to fight back had completely ruined all his carefully laid plans. He never thought he would be pushed into a corner like this, and by the very sun he had painstakingly raised. Qi Wanshan had reached his limit. "Since you want to die so badly, I'll grant your wish." Enraged, Qi Wanshan lunged at Qi Qiuyue again. This time, his 5 fingers formed a claw, grabbing toward Qi Qiuyue's left arm. Qi Qiuyue still didn't resist, letting Qi Wanshan grab him. Qi Wanshan said resentfully, "Do you really think that by pressuring me like this, I'll compromise? You're dead wrong. In my entire life, even if I die, I will never change any decision I've made." This was the air he had carefully cultivated. But if this person was disobedient and harmed his interests, Qi Wanshan wouldn't mind changing the head of the Qi family while he was still alive. A ruthless glint flashed in Qi Wanshan's eyes. Seeing this, Qi Rong shouted in horror, "Old family head, no." A crisp sound of bone snapping rang out. Qi Wanshan applied force and broke Qi Qiuyue's arm. When Qi Wanshan let go, Qi Qiuyue's entire arm was twisted at an unnatural angle. Qi Qiuyue let out a groan of pain, cold sweat pouring down his face. Qi Wanshan grabbed Qi Qiuyue's right arm and said fiercely, "It's not too late to admit defeat now. Otherwise, I'll break all your limbs and throw you off this ring." It's hard to defy fate. Old family head. Seeing the old family head act so ruthlessly, the spectators below the ring were incredibly anxious. Crack. Another crisp sound. His right arm was also broken. This time, Qi Wanshan didn't stop, delivering a sweeping kick toward Qi Qiuyue's legs. Enduring the excruciating pain from his arms, Qi Qiuyue jumped to dodge. But unexpectedly, it was just a feint. Qi Wanshan's fist had already gathered power and struck squarely at Qi Qiuyue's chest. Qi Qiuyue, already heavily injured, couldn't dodge in time. Struck in the chest, he spat out a massive mouthful of blood and collapsed to the ground, unconscious. "Family head! Family head!" Horrified cries rang out everywhere below the ring. Qi Qiuyue's guards wanted to rush up, but they were stopped by Qi Qiuan. The men he had prepared stopped them. "This match hasn't been decided yet." Seeing Qi Wanshan act so ruthlessly toward Qi Qiuyue, Qi Qiuheng guessed that he intended to replace the head of the Qi family. He was absolutely thrilled inside. He couldn't let anyone interfere with this match. Qi Qiuheng pretended to say, "Ayue, listen to me. Quickly give in to father and admit defeat." Qi Qiuyue still hadn't lost consciousness. This was the second time in his life he had fallen into such a miserable state. And this time, his injuries were clearly much worse than when he begged Qi Wanshan for Qi Yan's sake. Qi Qiuyue gritted his blood-stained teeth, looking at Qi Wanshan, and enunciated every word. "Please, let my sister and her child return." If he could prove Qi Wanshan's stubbornness and cruelty in front of the entire clan, causing the image he had built over the years to collapse, then everything he endured would be worth it. Today, unless Qi Wanshan killed him right here in the arena, he would absolutely not admit defeat. "Fool!" Qi Wanshan roared, murderous intent flashing in his eyes. This was the son he had doted on, yet he turned out to be a wolf in sheep's clothing. Qi Wanshan regretted not discovering Qi Qiuyue's betrayal sooner. If he had known, he would have elevated his adopted son to family head long ago. Perhaps it wasn't too late now. I'll ask you one last time. Admit defeat, and we'll pretend this never happened. Qi Wanshan stood tall, looking down at Qi Qiuyue, his killing intent palpable. Qi Qiuyue closed his eyes. Actually, his plan had one more step, but it required Qi Yun and Lin Shi to arrive to be executed. Since they weren't here yet, he could only say this was his fate. I will not admit defeat. Below the ring, Qi Qiuyue's subordinates were in chaos. Many wanted to rush up, but were stopped by people from both sides. Still, some tried to push their way to the ring. Family head, please admit defeat. Family head, the eldest miss has been gone for years. It's fine if the young master doesn't return. We can take care of you. Family head. Family head, please admit defeat. Old family head, that's your own flesh and blood. Someone tried to jump onto the ring, but was kicked flying by Qi Qiong. Who dares to interfere with the family head's duel? The rules cannot be broken. Qi Qiong felt he already had one foot on the family head's throne, incredibly excited. If Qi Qiuyue was killed, he wouldn't have to waste a single soldier to take over the position of family head. He thought he had been robbed and would have to endure for years before getting another chance to lead the Qi family. He never expected Qi Qiuyue to seek his own death. Qi Qiuheng only wished Qi Wanshan would kill Qi Qiuyue right this instant. The crowd was in chaos, but Qi Wanshan no longer cared. He, who had always strictly managed the family, had been set up by his own son, his lifelong reputation ruined in an instant. But he absolutely refused to yield. Anyone who dares to come up, I'll kill them too. Qi Wanshan roared furiously. The arena instantly fell silent. Since things had come to this, Qi Wanshan didn't need to pretend to be merciful anymore. Seeing Qi Qiuyue still resolute and refusing to submit, murderous intent flashed in Qi Wanshan's eyes. He stomped hard toward Qi Qiuyue's head. With this full-force stomp, even a Tier 5 martial artist would have their necks snapped. Stop! From the entrance of the arena, an anxious figure sprinted over. It was Qi Yun, brought there by Lin Shi. Hearing Qi Yun's voice, Qi Qiuyue shouted, "Wait!" Qi Wanshan stopped his foot. He couldn't bear to kill his son. Are you admitting defeat? If he hadn't been pushed into a corner by Qi Qiuyue, Qi Wanshan wouldn't have wanted to go to extremes either. Qi Qiuyue struggled to stand up. Qi Yun ran to the edge of the ring, seeing his father beaten like this, his heart aching immensely. I want to pass the position of Qi family head to my nephew, Lin Shi. I want to pass the position of Qi family head to my nephew, Lin Shi. Qi Qiuyue roared, his origin energy amplifying his words to every corner of the arena. An eerie silence fell over the crowd. Everyone turned to look at the young man Qi Yun had brought. Being stared at by so many eyes, Lin Shi frowned, then focused back on the match in the arena. Qi Xiaoye was stubbornly holding on. Qi Yun was stunned, but his worry for Qi Xiaoye still overpowered his shock. Yeah, please step down, father. Qi Xiaoye smiled and shook his head. Little Yun, I need to finish what I started. As long as he dies, with Lin Shi's strength, he will definitely become the new patriarch of the Qi family. All he lacks right now is the official title. Article 7 of the clan rules. The position of patriarch belongs to the strongest in the clan. If two are equally matched, the successor will be decided through a duel. The crowd was in an uproar. The Qi family actually has this rule? Aren't new patriarchs always chosen by the previous generation? I remember the clan having this rule. Have you guys never read the genealogy records in the library? Our Qi family has a history of over 2,000 years. We're not just some random family. Do you know the story behind this? For years, the Qi family patriarch has been cultivated using the entire clan's resources by the previous generation, suppressing all other clan members to inherit the position. Those who aren't from the main lineage are restricted from resources the moment they are born. No matter how hard they cultivate, even if they reach the meditation realm, at most they'll just be a main lineage member without any real power. Because of this, later generations have almost forgotten that the Qi family even has this rule. In reality, all hidden clans follow the law of the jungle. The strong prey on the weak. In ancient times, when the clans still intermarried with those capable of unlocking evolutionary genes, the patriarch didn't necessarily have to be surnamed Qi. As long as they carried the clan's bloodline, could unlock their genes, and had outstanding talent, they could succeed the position. But over 2,000 years ago, a Qi patriarch found a way to ensure his own lineage would inherit it generation after generation. From then on, the patriarch would choose the most talented among his descendants, using all the clan's power and resources to nurture them into the strongest. They would then naturally inherit the position while suppressing other branches. This method was adopted, and the other 3 major families followed suit. As time passed, other surnames gradually disappeared from the history of the hidden clans. Only the Qi, Li, Wang, and Chun remained as the 4 great families. Over the years, no other surname, not even those who married into the 4 great families, could inherit the patriarch position. This was all due to suppression and a lack of resources. Now that Qi Xiaoye suddenly brought it up, many who had read the clan's history remembered the ancestral rule: only the strong are worthy. Qi Wanshan also looked toward Lin Shi. Him? We don't even know if he's a member of the Qi family yet, and he thinks he's worthy? Even though Lin Shi was his maternal grandson, Qi Wanshan's eyes were filled with hostility as he looked at him. You think you can just bring back some random bastard and claim he's a descendant of my Qi family? Whether he's a Qi or not, a DNA test will tell us immediately. Technology is highly advanced now. This isn't 200 years ago. Father. Qi Xiaoye's white tracksuit was barely white anymore, clearly showing how battered he was, but his eyes were filled with joy. Qi Wanshan was so furious his chest heaved violently. Looking down from the arena, he barked, "Who allowed an outsider into the Qi family? Kill him." As soon as the order was given, several highly skilled elders immediately lunged at Lin Shi. Qi Yun furiously shouted, "Don't you dare hurt my cousin." But how could these elders, who had followed Qi Wanshan for years, listen to him? For elders drew their daggers and charged straight at Lin Shi. The sudden turn of events left the bystanders stunned, unable to react in time. He must be the eldest Mrs. Sun. Whether he is or not, he's dead meat. The old patriarch said he isn't, so he can't be allowed to live. What a pity. I think this kid looks a bit like the patriarch. He really does resemble the eldest Mississippi. He's so young. His strength is probably only on par with the young master at best. Facing 4 clan elders joining forces, absolutely no one can save him. While the crowd was buzzing with discussion, the 4 elders had already arrived right in front of Lin Shi. Lin Shi raised his hand in front of him, directly grabbing the dagger aimed at his heart. The dagger gleamed with a cold light. Who would have thought Lin Shi would try to catch it barehanded? A cold smirk appeared on his face. This was an origin weapon, not some ordinary scrap iron. As long as origin power was poured into it, it could easily sever the bones of anyone below the 3rd tier. Everyone knew the strength and weapons of these 4 elders, the close confidants of the patriarch. Seeing Lin Shi catch the blade barehanded, many expressed pity, and some even turned their faces away, not daring to look. But very quickly, those who thought Lin Shi's hand would be sliced off were proven wrong. Lin Shi gripped the dagger tightly and yanked it toward himself, causing the servant to stumble forward. If he hadn't still been pouring origin power into it, the dagger would have slipped from his grasp due to the sheer force. But then, a sharp crack echoed out. Lin Shi suddenly delivered a vicious kick to the servant's body. The servant flew backward at a speed even faster than his charge. The dagger remained in Lin Shi's hand, along with the servant's entire arm. Lin Shi's kick had caved in a small hole in the servant's chest. His spine was severely deformed, and naturally, his arm had been ripped clean off. Before the servant even hit the ground, the remaining 3 elders lunged forward. With that same agility, he caught the blades barehanded, followed by another kick. Under Lin Shi's terrifying speed, all 4 of them were sent flying almost simultaneously, instantly smashing into the martial arts arena wall 1,000 meters away. Just how terrifying must his strength and speed be to send 4 people crashing into a wall from such a distance all at once? In the blink of an eye, the 4 clan elders, the patriarch's strongest guards, were completely wiped out. Looking at the 4 severed arms lying on the ground, many still hadn't processed what just happened. The 4 clan elders are pinned to the wall over there. This guy, what kind of strength does he actually have? Killing 4 tier 4 clan elders in an instant. What level of power does that take? He definitely can't be tier 4, nor tier 5. Is that even a level of strength and speed a human can achieve? Terrifying. On the arena, Qi Wanshan was completely dumbfounded by Lin Shi's moves. It wasn't out of pity for his four guards, but because Lin Shi's speed and power filled him with absolute dread. He told himself that even at his peak, he couldn't have pulled off something like that. Could the rumors of Lin Shi being a Tier 6 powerhouse be true? Qi Wanshan began to panic. If it was true, and Lin Shi really possessed Qi Yan's bloodline, that meant Lin Shi had every right to inherit the position of patriarch. He absolutely could not let the clan fall into the hands of an outsider. Otherwise, he would be a sinner of the Qi family for all eternity. Daring to use an outsider to meddle with the Qi family's bloodline? You're courting death. This time, Qi Wanshan didn't hesitate at all, immediately launching a lethal strike aimed at Qi Xiaoya. He was already struggling to hold on. If that strike landed, Qi Xiaoya would undoubtedly die on the spot. Below the arena, no one dared to intervene anymore. But after Lin Shi's display of power, the crowd still hadn't recovered their wits. Seeing Qi Wanshan mercilessly attacking Qi Xiaoya, many screamed, "No! Stop!" But their cries were too late. Qi Xiaoya squeezed his eyes shut. In that life-or-death moment, a stone flew in from nowhere and smashed heavily into Qi Wanshan. Qi Wanshan spat out a mouthful of fresh blood, his attack broken, and collapsed unconscious. The crowd below the arena was stunned. What just happened? Where did that stone come from? It couldn't be a meteorite, right? The old patriarch is that unlucky? Because a Tier 6 powerhouse hadn't appeared in years, the members of the hidden clans basically had no idea what kind of abilities someone at Tier 6 or above could possess. Only Qi Yun knew that the sudden flying stone was Lin Shi's doing. The central martial arts arena wasn't usually open, but once it was, according to clan rules, a victor had to be decided. If it weren't for Lin Shi's help, Qi Yun would have broken the rules to go up and save his father. Qi Yun looked at Lin Shi with grateful eyes, then shouted to the surroundings of the arena, "One side is unconscious. The duel is over, right?" Qi Rong, the referee, finally snapped back to reality and said tremblingly, "In this match, the patriarch wins." Qi Xiaoyan never expected to win in such a manner. He glanced at Lin Shi below the arena before passing out. Qi Yun immediately rushed up to the martial arts arena to support his father. "Big bro, let's go." Qi Yun carried Qi Xiaoya and left. Lin Shi followed behind. The crowd parted, and no one dared to stop them. Are you kidding me? For Tier 4 powerhouses were killed in an instant. If they dared to speak up, they'd definitely be reduced to crushed bones. Besides, before passing out, the patriarch said he wanted to pave the way for this unfamiliar young man. That proved this young man had a chance of becoming the future patriarch. The current situation was still unclear, and the old patriarch was inferior in both status and strength. So, the choice for the majority was very clear: wait for the patriarch to wake up. The duel between the two generations of patriarchs ended in such a bizarre atmosphere. Everyone was fine, except for Qi Xiaoheng below the arena, whose face was so gloomy it looked like it could drip water. He had almost become the new patriarch of the Qi family, but Qi Yun and Lin Shi had ruined his perfect plan. A nobody actually wants to inherit the patriarch position? He absolutely wouldn't let Qi Xiaoya get his way. Qi Yun hurriedly brought Qi Xiaoya to the clinic, looking for the clan doctor to treat his injuries. Qi Xiaoya was heavily injured, but fortunately, it wasn't life-threatening. However, young master, I've already set the patriarch's bones, but for these injuries, we need to perform surgery on the patriarch first. Bring out the reserve origin pills first. Origin pills can help heal his injuries quickly. Why are you being stingy with a few origin pills at a time like this? The clan doctor was a gray-haired but still robust old man. With a worried expression, he said, We currently don't have any origin pills." Qi Yun was furious. He grabbed the clan doctor by the collar and roared, "What do you mean you don't have origin pills? Don't you guys usually keep a reserve of 100 origin pills for emergencies? Or did you secretly take them for yourselves? The person lying on that bed is the patriarch of the Qi family. He's heavily injured, and the clinic has no medicine. If word of this gets out, it'll be a massive joke." No, it's not like that. I wouldn't dare." The clan doctor, who was over 100 years old, was as meek as a chick in Qi Yun's hands. It was the old patriarch. Yesterday, he suddenly said he was feeling unwell, So he had me take out all the origin pills. The old patriarch? That old geezer. Chi Yun flared up with anger just hearing Chi Wanshan's name. If it weren't for that old geezer, his father wouldn't be so heavily injured. Just then, Chi Sen rushed in from outside. Young master, I've found out everything. Today's duel was proposed by the patriarch, just in hopes that the old patriarch would agree to let the young cousin return. During the duel, the patriarch didn't fight back, which is why Chi Yun's eyes widened. So that old geezer actually made my father risk his life. Chi Yun was so furious his chest heaved. The dissatisfaction he held toward Chi Wanshan had now turned into pure hatred. Without origin pills in the estate, only Chi Xiaoya himself could retrieve more. Other than the current patriarch, no one else could even think about it. Normally, the clan would distribute origin pills to clan members monthly based on their merits. The vast majority of the origin pills were actually kept in the Qi family's scientific research facility. To prevent the Xia country government from getting greedy, they were all produced overseas and then shipped back. Only the clinic kept a reserve of 100 origin pills for emergencies. Qi Yun fed Qi Xiaoya the origin pills he had on him, but that amount was just a drop in the bucket. Only after an examination did they realize how severe Qi Xiaoya's injuries were. His internal organs were ruptured. Several broken ribs had pierced his abdomen. You guys, immediately go collect origin pills from the clan. Gather as many as you can. I want 100 pills within an hour. Hearing this, Qi Yi, Qi San, Qi Wu, and Qi Qi understood the gravity of the situation and all ran off. The clan doctor beside them still looked worried. Some clan members kept their daily distributed origin pills, not using them to increase their origin power, but saving them for emergencies. However, 100 origin pills was no small number. 1 hour was truly a bit too rushed. Seeing Qi Yun frowning, Lin Shi reached into his pocket, pulled out a bottle of pills, and handed it to Qi Yun. Give him 3 of these and see. Hearing that today's duel was entirely caused by him, Lin Shi was incredibly shocked. He hadn't expected that coming to the Qi family before the apocalypse this time, he would not only meet Qi Xiaoya, the current patriarch of the Qi family, but also the old patriarch. He was even more surprised that Qi Xiaoya, the patriarch of one of the 4 great hidden families, would endure such a bitter-meat trick just to clear his name. But in a fight between father and son, if the son struck his father too hard, it would definitely cause severe repercussions, doing more harm than good. That was why Qi Xiaoya hadn't fought back. If they had arrived a step later, Qi Xiaoya probably would have really been beaten to death. Did this cheap uncle of his actually care about him that much? Or rather, did he care about his mother? Seeing Lin Shi hand over the item, Qi Yun's eyes lit up. Thank you, cousin. He took the gene pills from Lin Shi's hand and fed them to Qi Xiaoya, not even asking what kind of medicine it was. The clan doctor beside them didn't even have time to stop him before seeing Qi Yun feed the pills to Qi Xiaoya. Young master. The clan doctor's eyes widened as he watched Qi Yun feed Qi Xiaoya the pills. What are you standing there for? Hurry up and get a glass of water. Young master, this kind of medicine won't help the patriarch's injuries much. Moreover, medicine of unknown origin will affect the patriarch's future treatments. I told you to go, so go? Why are you talking so much? The clan doctor helplessly shot a blaming look at Lin Shi, then turned to get water. Just as he turned around, Qi Yun spoke up. Wait, no need. The clan doctor turned his head back. Qi Xiaoya's pale face, after Qi Yun fed him the gene pills, immediately regained a lot of color. Gene pills were suited for many special situations, so to ensure immediate efficacy, the Scientific Research Institute back then had modified them into a melt-in-the-mouth type. Furthermore, the gene pills in Lin Shi's hands were all upgraded and compressed by Li Xinke and many top scientific experts of Xia country during the post-apocalyptic era. The amount of origin matter contained within them was even greater than the origin pills of the hidden clans. Seeing Qi Xiaoya's condition visibly improve after taking the medicine, Qi Yun immediately fed him the rest of the pills. The clan doctor asked in horror, what kind of medicine is this? Qi Yun didn't know, and Lin Shi had never said. Seeing that all the gene pills had been consumed, Qi Xiaoya's aura noticeably stabilized. A Tier 5 evolver inherently possessed strong self-healing abilities. With the aid of the medicine, he would probably be fully recovered in just a few days. Qi Yun breathed a sigh of relief. Just then, A group of people rushed frantically into the clinic. Clan doctor, hurry. Save the old patriarch. It turned out that because Qi Yun had run off so quickly earlier, Qi Wanshan was still lying on the martial arts arena. Qi Xiaohang hurriedly had his subordinates carry him over. Qi Wanshan was heavily injured. He was already old and frail, and no one expected him to be hurt this badly. Lin Shi showed absolutely no mercy to someone who wanted to kill him. That kick had smashed directly into the back of Qi Wanshan's neck and head. Right now, the bones at the back of Qi Wanshan's head were shattered, and his neck was irregularly deformed. This injury was critical. If not treated in time, he likely wouldn't survive the night. Seeing the old patriarch so heavily injured, the clan doctor hurriedly rushed over to treat him. But these injuries had already surpassed the capabilities of modern medicine. The old patriarch was now barely clinging to life. Qi Xiaohang hurriedly asked, "Where are the origin pills?" "Quickly give them to the old patriarch." The old patriarch exhausted a lot of origin power on the martial arts arena. If he doesn't get origin pills, I'm afraid he won't be able to keep his life. There are no origin pills. The old patriarch took them all yesterday. The clan doctor looked miserable as he recounted the same story he had just told Qi Yun to Qi Xiaohang. It turned out Qi Wanshan had taken all the origin pills from the clinic's pharmacy yesterday to prepare for today's duel. As a result, not only did he fail to win, but he also ended up in a situation with no medicine to save him. Seeing that his father's condition was temporarily stable, Qi Yun was no longer worried. Looking at the bloodied Qi Wanshan being carried in, a look of satisfaction and a hint of schadenfreude appeared on his face. Heaven strikes the guilty. Those who bring disaster upon themselves cannot live. Hearing this, Qi Xiaohang suppressed his anger, immediately stood up, and was about to teach Qi Yun a lesson. But just as he raised his hand, Qi Xiaohang felt a terrifying killing intent lock onto him. That killing intent naturally emanated from Lin Shi. If Qi Xiaohang dared to move a muscle, Lin Shi wouldn't hesitate to sever his limbs. As for killing him, that would be too easy. Even though Qi Xiaohang had already died by his hands once in his previous life, the irreconcilable hatred of his mother's murder meant Lin Shi still wouldn't let him off in this life. Qi Yun noticed Qi Xiaohang's intentions, took 2 steps closer to Lin Shi, and provoked Qi Xiaohang. "You want to hit me? You don't even look at your own status. You're just an adopted son, a collateral descendant. A dog actually dares to bite its master?" With Lin Shi by his side, Qi Yun's arrogance didn't diminish in the slightest. He was already burning with anger inside and had always disliked Qi Xiaohang, so he just said whatever he wanted. He hoped Qi Xiaohang wouldn't have time to treat Qi Wanshan, so Qi Wanshan would die and reincarnate early. Seeing his master insulted like this, Qi Yi, one of Qi Xiaohang's subordinates, angrily said, "Young master, watch your words. Even the patriarch has to call my master big brother. Speaking like that shows a lack of manners and respect for the hierarchy. I'm just a kid. Why are you guys arguing with me? Besides, I didn't name anyone specifically. I just said the weather is bad today and karma is heavy. Why is eldest uncle so eager to take a seat in that spot?" He looked at Qi Xiaohang with a "what can you do to me" expression, making Qi Xiaohang and his subordinates' hands itch with the urge to hit him. Qi Xiaohang was indeed an old fox who had hidden within the Qi family for years. He withdrew his gaze and said, "Enough. Qi Yun is still young. Kids talk nonsense. You guys go see if anyone in the clan still has origin pills. Qi Yi, you stay here and take care of him. I'll make a trip to the storehouse." In truth, Qi Xiaohang hadn't hoarded many origin pills. Most of them were used for his daily cultivation. Otherwise, how could he have caught up to Qi Xiaoya? Lin Shi watched the direction Qi Xiaohang left in, and a thought suddenly crossed his mind. The origin pills originally stored in Qi Xiaohang's storehouse had suddenly vanished. Qi Xiaohang searched everywhere, ransacking the entire storehouse, but ultimately couldn't find the remaining origin pills he used for cultivation. Qi Xiaohang was so furious he was panting heavily. He practically turned the whole storehouse upside down before finally having to rush back to the clinic. But as soon as he returned to the clinic, he saw his subordinates with weapons drawn, facing off against Qi Yun's subordinates. "What are you doing?" Qi Xiaohang was already trying his hardest to suppress his anger. Seeing a brawl about to break out, if it weren't for his wariness of Lin Shi's presence and the unfavorable situation, he would have almost exploded on the spot. Lin Shi sat on a plush leather chair, leisurely admiring the finest crimson cloak Qi Yun had brought from his private storehouse. He sipped tea while observing Qi Xiaohang, whose face looked like he wanted to lash out but was desperately holding it in, as if suffering from internal injuries. Qi Yi spoke up. Master, when we went to collect origin pills from the clan members, the young master had already gotten there first and taken them all. After returning, the young master gave all the origin pills directly to the patriarch, not leaving a single pill for the old patriarch. Qi Xiaohang's eyes widened in shock. In other words, the Qi family currently didn't have a single origin pill left. If they wanted any, they could only wait for the shipment from overseas to arrive soon, but that would take at least a few hours. Qi Yun, at a time like this, are you trying to kill your own grandfather? Qi Yun remained calm, not flustered in the slightest. Eldest uncle, don't falsely accuse me. In the clan, the patriarch is always the top priority. Don't you know that, eldest uncle? My father is heavily injured, so it's only logical for him to use the origin pills first. Besides, my father's injuries were all caused by grandfather. His injuries have nothing to do with us. Qi Yun lied through his teeth without changing his expression. As long as they didn't admit it, Qi Wanshan's injuries had nothing to do with Lin Shi. Don't worry, eldest uncle. I've already contacted them to rush the origin pills over. They should be here in about 7 hours. Qi Yun chuckled. Qi Xiaohang was so furious his face turned bright red, his anger reaching its absolute limit. Right now, the two people stronger than him in the clan were both unconscious. If Lin Shi weren't here, Qi Xiaohang would have already slapped Qi Yun across the face. If Qi Wanshan died, he would fall into a passive position, making his situation in the Qi family extremely disadvantageous. Today, below the martial arts arena, Qi Xiaohang had stopped Qi Xiaoya, making a gamble. He bet that Qi Wanshan would kill Qi Xiaoya, so he could easily seize the position of patriarch. He never expected the plan to suddenly change, with an unexpected person appearing halfway through. Now that his ambitions were exposed, once Qi Xiaoya woke up, he definitely wouldn't let him off. Qi Xiaohang glared at Lin Shi. If anger could kill, Lin Shi would have been reduced to ashes long ago. Keep looking at me, and I'll gouge your eyes out. A cold voice rang out from Lin Shi. Coming from anyone else, this might have been a joke, but from Lin Shi, it was a very real threat. Qi Xiaohang scoffed coldly and thought of another plan. By dusk, Qi Wanshan finally couldn't hold on. A generation's old patriarch had passed away just like that. The entire clan was immersed in a mournful atmosphere. As for Qi Xiaoya, he was still unconscious. In reality, Qi Xiaoya had woken up long ago. After taking so many potent medicines and origin pills, he had regained consciousness by dusk. It was just that Qi Yun noticed immediately and secretly drugged him back to sleep. Qi Xiaoya kept his eyes closed and used his mental energy to sweep the hospital room, immediately knowing what was going on. If he woke up, he would definitely open the clan's storehouse to get origin pills to save Qi Wanshan. But Qi Xiaoya didn't want to do that. It wasn't that he was unfilial, but their father-son bond had already dried up. Ever since Qi Wanshan caused Qi Yan's death and tried to kill him, their father-son relationship was completely gone. Even though Qi Wanshan never spoke of what happened back then, Qi Xiaoya knew it clearly. Over the years, he hadn't gone looking for trouble with Qi Xiaohang because Qi Wanshan was the true mastermind. The one behind the scenes. Qi Xiaohang was just a knife. As long as the master of the knife was gone, he could easily deal with the knife itself. After that battle, Qi Wanshan had become even weaker. Even if he was saved with origin pills, he probably would only live for a few more days. That would only bring countless unpredictable variables to the Qi family. Therefore, Qi Xiaoya pretended to be unconscious. Only when he heard the news of Qi Wanshan's death did Qi Xiaoya finally sleep peacefully. He was a wounded man, after all, and very tired. Lin Shi was led by Qi Yun to stay in a small courtyard. Qi Yun practically moved all the best things in the house into Lin Shi's courtyard. During his free time, Lin Shi enjoyed the life of a wealthy young master. His mental energy enveloped the entire Qi family mountain estate. He had to admit, the complexities within a major family were even more dramatic than in TV shows. For example, Qi Xiaohang had already contacted people from the other 3 hidden clans, looking for a way out for himself. As for the others in the clan, some were gossiping about Qi Xiaoya's injuries, while others talked about Qi Yun. But the vast majority were discussing Lin Shi, especially whether or not Lin Shi would inherit the position of patriarch. In reality, Lin Shi had no such intentions at all. He also didn't understand what Qi Xiaoya was thinking, wanting to let someone surnamed Lin become the patriarch of the Qi family. Just then, the phone in his pocket rang. Lin Shi set down his teacup and answered. It was Lin Rongshuan calling. Kid, did you arrive at the Qi family safely? How's the situation? Those old geezers from the Qi family aren't making things difficult for you, are they? It's fine. It's very. Lin Shi replied with a few words, then recounted today's situation at the Qi family to Lin Rongshuan. Hearing that Qi Wanshan was dead, Lin Rongshuan was astonished. That old geezer actually wasn't dead yet? I thought he died a long time ago. Yeah, uncle. Lin Shi still wasn't used to this form of address. Today on the martial arts arena, he announced in front of the entire Qi family that he wants me to be the patriarch. What? Lin Shi had also been very surprised when he heard this news. Letting someone surnamed Lin become the patriarch of the Qi family? He really didn't understand what Qi Xiaoya was thinking. Not to mention, Qi Xiaoya even brought up the clan rules. Could it be that the Qi family has a clan rule allowing outsiders to become patriarch? Lin Rongshuan on the other end was silent for a long time before saying, Be the patriarch. Holy shit, listen to me. Lin Rongshuan whispered. It turned out Lin Rongshuan also knew about the might makes right rule of the hidden clans. It was just that for generations, the four prestigious families had suppressed their external relatives, so the successor of each generation could only come from the main lineage. But Lin Shi inherently possessed the Qi family bloodline, coupled with his formidable strength. As long as he wanted the position of Qi family patriarch, no one could snatch it away. Not even Qi Xiaoya. The Qi family changing its surname to Lin? This was truly a joyous occasion. Just thinking about that scene, I feel like I could die without regrets. If Qi Wanshan knew the Qi family was about to change its surname, he'd definitely be so furious he'd burst out of his coffin. Lin Rongshuan laughed loudly on the other end of the line, even more excited than Lin Shi. His hatred for Qi Wanshan was no less than Qi Xiaoya's. It turned out that although Lin Rongshuan's ancestors had always secretly searched for the treasure bowl, their ultimate goal was still to find it and restore their ancestral glory. It was just a pity that for so many years, the treasure bowl had never been found. Even though Lin Rongshuan had found it, he could never awaken it. Restoring their ancestral glory had remained nothing but a dream. But now, Lin Shi had unlocked the treasure bowl, making the restoration of the Lin family's glory more feasible than ever. Knowing Lin Shi was shouldering a heavy responsibility, Lin Rongshuan said, Aren't you about to contact the government? If you take over the Qi family, you'll have a very strong voice when dealing with the government. Lin Shi's eyes lit up. That's right. Why hadn't he thought of that? The reason Lin Shi hadn't thought of this point was that he had never considered that angle. The hidden clans around the world were all figures that received little attention. Lin Shi already knew this from the attitude of the country government when he was there. The other three major families were all in other countries. Only the Qi family was in Xia country. The Xia country government had long known of the Qi family's existence and was very wary of them. Therefore, using the Qi family as a stepping stone to contact the government would be much more convenient than contacting them himself. When the time came, providing a reason for the apocalyptic event would also be much easier. I'll consider it carefully. After chatting a bit more with Lin Rongshuan and receiving careful instructions, Lin Shi finally hung up. Lin Shi pondered. The position of Qi family patriarch? If he became the patriarch of the Lin family, it didn't seem entirely unacceptable. The next day, Qi Xiaoya woke up. Qi Yun, who had stayed by his side all night, saw that his father's complexion was very vibrant. How are you feeling? Much better. I can get out of bed and walk around. I should be fully recovered in 2 days. Although Qi Xiaoya's injuries were severe, fortunately, there was no fatal damage. In addition, he had used a lot of gene pills and origin pills, so his rapid recovery was understandable. The bodyguard who had been standing by his side said, Patriarch, the old patriarch, has passed away. What? Qi Xiaoya feigned great shock. The bodyguard recounted how the old patriarch had secretly stolen the origin pills from the clan's pharmacy, and when they were needed, not a single pill could be found. Coupled with his already frail body, he couldn't pull through. He also recounted how Qi Yun had collected origin pills from the clan members and given them all to Qi Xiaoya, without giving the old patriarch a single pill. Qi Xiaoya's eyes flashed. So that's what happened. Since father has passed, notify the other 3 major families to attend the funeral. Father worked hard his whole life. The funeral must be grand. As for the burial site, just choose the back mountain. The bodyguard received the order. After the bodyguard left, Qi Yun leaned in close to Qi Xiaoya's ear and recounted the true cause of Qi Wanshan's death. So you're saying, my nephew saved me? Qi Xiaoya had already guessed that the stone was Lin Shi's doing. Not only would he not blame Lin Shi, but he was also grateful to him. For years, Qi Xiaoya had wanted to avenge his sister every single night, but he couldn't kill his own father with his own hands. Now that Qi Wanshan was dead, Qi Xiaoya felt as if a heavy burden had been lifted from his heart. Qi Xiaoya stood up, used up the origin pills the clan had saved overnight, and went to visit Lin Shi. After chatting with Lin Shi for a bit, he hurried off to handle Qi Wanshan's funeral arrangements. Meanwhile, Qi Yun stayed behind with Lin Shi. Cousin, how did it go? What did my dad say? When Qi Yun first heard that Qi Xiaoya wanted to yield the patriarch position to Lin Shi, he was startled. But thinking it over, if Lin Shi became the patriarch of the Qi family, he would have an even stronger backer. Besides, he had no interest in the patriarch position anyway. A free and unrestrained life was what he truly wanted. Therefore, the idea of handing the patriarch position over to Lin Shi didn't conflict with Qi Yun at all. I think it's fine, Lin Shi said. Awesome. Qi Yun was overjoyed. Cousin, there will definitely be a lot of people coming to the mountain estate this afternoon. When the time comes, if anyone provokes me, you have to stand by my side. What's going on? Qi Wanshan had passed away. The other 3 patriarchs might not necessarily have the time to come, but even if they didn't, they would still dispatch clan members to pay their respects. Qi Yun then explained the complex relationships. Although the 4 great families appeared harmonious on the surface, they were always secretly competing. If the elders clashed, it was a major incident. But the younger generation was different. No matter what happened, they could just brush it off as kids being ignorant. Therefore, among the 4 great hidden families, the competition between the younger generation was incredibly fierce, often resorting to all sorts of underhanded tactics. Chen Tian from the Chen family, that guy with the slick back hair all day, always acts smart, but is actually an idiot. He just relies on being a few years older than me and having unlocked a higher gene tier to look down on me. I've been beaten up by him so many times. Then there's Li Chun from the Li family. He's clearly a massive hypocrite. Every time I get played, he pretends to care, only to pour dirty water on me right after. I've been wanting to beat him up for a long time. This time, they definitely won't expect me to have unlocked the tier 3 gene so quickly. I can't wait to beat the crap out of them. Qi Yun was pumped. What about the Wang family? Hearing these familiar names, Lin Shi raised an eyebrow and asked about one specific family. The Wang family? Wang Tianyuan still doesn't have any kids. He only adopted a son. Who knows if there's something wrong with him? That adopted son is a total wimp. He barely even dares to go outside. Qi Yun waved his hand dismissively. So that was it. In his previous apocalyptic life, Lin Shi had the least contact with the Wang family. After all, the reason there was no second contact was because he had wiped them out. But Wang Tianyuan was indeed a highly talented person. Without relying on external forces, he had unlocked the tier 6 gene in his middle age. As for Chun Tian from the Qin family, he was already over 100 years old. Cousin, you won't need to lift a finger then. Just be there. When I'm beating them up, if their elders try to interfere, just help me hold those old geezers back. Qi Yun smiled brightly, as if victory was already in his grasp. Lin Shi warned him, you can teach Qin Tian a lesson however you want, but you'd better not underestimate Li Chun. Li Chun is the one who killed the old patriarch of the Li family to become the new patriarch. He looks harmless on the outside, but he's incredibly vicious. If it weren't for the fact that his strength completely overwhelmed Li Chun in his previous apocalyptic life, a person like him would absolutely never submit. Li Chun, that smiling tiger? I know. Cousin, you actually know him? Qi Yun was surprised. Yeah, Lin Shi replied briefly. In the afternoon, people from the other 3 major families indeed arrived.